A brand new stop on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Welcome to the 43rd annual Kansas City Wide Open presented by GRIPeq and UnderPar. We will be at Bad Rock Creek Disc Golf Course this weekend in Liberty, Missouri, just outside of Kansas City. And it's an overcast, pleasant day in Kansas City, 64 degrees. Winds out of the northwest, 12 miles per hour, a little down from yesterday. As we head straight out onto the course, Valerie Mondahano has an early lead, teeing off on hole 11. She's up 2 strokes on Heidi Leine. And she's going to have a look at the birdie. Take a look at the Innova Hot Rounds, a.k.a. the Round 1 leaderboard.
Val with the birdie putt on 11, looking to go to 4. That's a great start out here.
So let's go live to the 11th green. Val putting for birdie. And knocks down her 4th birdie of the day. Bogey-free round going so far and looking like an excellent round. 4 down, period, would be a good score, and she's got a lot of holes left to play as we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being with us. Alongside Brian Earhart, I am Charlie Eisenhood. Brian, we've seen this Kansas City Wide Open be an NT event back in the day. It's been a prominent A tier for many years when it hasn't been on the national tour. We've seen it as a Silver Series event. We've seen it as a Q Series event. And now here it is on the Disc Golf Pro Tour for the first time.
It's well-deserved, and I want to give people some context just about Kansas City Disc Golf in general. This is the 43rd KC Wide Open. The oldest disc golf course, Oak Grove, just celebrated its 50th anniversary. So incredibly long-lasting event, and this community knows disc golf. They know how to run a good tournament. They've done it all over the city, but now I feel like we found our home right here at Bad Rock. We watched a match play yesterday. This course delivers scoring separation all over the place.
Yeah, we saw plenty of good highlight shots yesterday and some struggles. I mean, there's bogeys out here. It's not an easy track. We do have some of the top players not playing this weekend in FPO. The Europeans mostly heading back over for a little R&R before the Champions Cup. So let's focus on some storylines from players that are not in the top 5 in the tour standings. How about Deanne Carey? Amazing putting so far this season.
It feels good when your putts are just going in the basket. It makes the game open up for you as well. You're not as worried about sticking it so close to the basket. And with her playing in the woods on the East Coast, I feel like this course sets up in a lot of parts.
Cadence Burge was very impressive at the Music City Open. Now has 3 top 10 finishes at Pro Tour events this year. She only has 4 ever. So we've seen her level continue to rise, and her rating has followed. It's at an all-time high at 958.
Physically, she has the skills to be an elite player. I think it's just an experience thing. Same thing with Eliezer Midlang. But we see a beautiful putting stroke from her. She has really solid power and can shape the disc really well. So a lot of young talent on the tour on the FPO side.
Well, this was a silver event in 2023. The Rookie of the Year that season, Allie Smith, took it down. She's from Kansas City. She knows this course very well. She looked good here yesterday during the match play, and she's getting ready to go, trying to defend a title here at the KC Wide Open.
Well, if you played match play yesterday like she did, you're going to get some experience playing in some pretty vicious winds. So today's just going to be very calm compared to that. 2023 is when I saw Allie's skills really shine for the first time, and this is just such a deserved win, and you know how much it meant to her. She used to run cross country on this park when she was in school.
And I feel like this was probably her real breakout tournament, period.
100%.
And, you know, stepping up in a big way. I mean, she's been dealing with some putting issues, but has kind of found a solution with her turbo flip putt from inside about 20 feet. And she's going to be the most experienced player out on this course. And we're going to send it now down to the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Dixon Jowers. Good morning. You've got a little more for us on Allie Smith.
Yeah, good morning, men. It is a good Friday out here at Bad Rock. And Allie not just used to run cross country out here. This is actually her home park for disc golf. I don't know if I've ever come across that on the Pro Tour that we were playing at somebody's home park. She's not only plays out here a lot, she's a member of the East Side Kansas City team in the very popular and very heated local team competition, East Side and West Side. So she knows this park well, and that's going to come in handy because, as you were mentioning, the wind is up a little bit, not as strong as yesterday, but it's still going to affect putts and shots, and it's actually changing. Right now, it's a little bit of a headwind right to left on the tee of hole 1, whereas yesterday it was a tailwind. By the end of the round, it's going to be a complete headwind on hole 1, so that's going to change their shots. Anything that was practiced yesterday, and it hasn't been this wind all week. So anybody that's got their practice in, it's really not going to be much of an advantage today unless it's your home park for somebody like Allie Smith. Now, as you mentioned, she has been working through some of her putting issues. I was speaking to her about that before the round, and for when she decides to go with her basketball push putt, it's just a number, 15 feet. And it really just comes down to being comfortable with it. She's fine with missing that putt. Obviously, she doesn't want to, but if she misses it, it's a 5-foot comebacker. The worst she's doing is 2-putting. Whereas if she grip locks her spin putt, lets it go early, that might turn into a 3-putt, that might go out of bounds. And so she has made the calculus that I'm fine with missing this so long as I don't miss the next one.
Great stuff, Dixon. As we head back out to the course, our leader, Valerie Mondahano.
It's got to get a little reverse skip. This might be a little too left, but still in play.
Checking in on the leaderboards. 2-shot lead for Mondahano. Haiti Lina, 2 down through 2. Gonna be fun to see what happens out here in round 1. We're going to take a break here on the Disc Golf Network. Feature cards on the other side.
Tell 'em don't drown till they catch this wave.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, we're in Liberty. We had an amazing time. Yeah, I'll send you some photos now. The facilities were great, and the weather was gorgeous. You'd be so proud. They played hard. We got great food afterwards and went through a museum. Of course, they wanted a treat, and they wore themselves out at the pool. It's been a really great weekend. You'll have to join us next time.
I haven't owned an electric guitar ever, so now I'm like extra double soaked. And now I need an amp.
The 43rd Kansas City Wide Open is presented by GRIPeq, the world's premier disc golf bags, trusted by pros since 2009. And by UnderPar. Par is good, UnderPar is better. Well, we got some bets ready to go for the Kansas City Wide Open. Check out the pre tournament betting lines. You can go to nxtbets.com/playdgpt to check out your options for daily fantasy and betting options. Holland Hanley, the pre-tournament favorite, Brian, plus 203. But take a look at these long shots. There's some compelling names with some pretty hefty payouts.
Man, Lisa Vegas, the defending champion at plus 10,000. Well, that's all there is to it right there.
And, you know, Allie Smith, former winner here. Deanne Carey's been playing well. Val forced to just pitch out to the fairway on 12.
That happens. It's very subtle, hyzer straight shot.
Go back to the first. Erica Stinchcomb in for birdie. Great look at the water they throw over on hole number 1. Big downhill shot, about 30 feet downhill from the tee. We're going to head down to the tee of the first now for our first feature card.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Kansas City Disc Golf Club and the Disc Golf Pro Tour, we'd like to welcome you back to Liberty, Missouri and Bad Rock Creek at Stockdale Park for a Disc Golf Pro Tour Elite Series event. The Grip Equipment 43rd Kansas City Wide Open, presented by UnderPar. This is the 9:10 tee time. So first feature card. And teeing off first, from Seattle, Washington, Ella Hansen.
Ella's got to be feeling good. Beat her best friend Holland Handley in match play yesterday. Got in a good practice round.
Just playing this to the short landing zone. That's okay. You want to be a little shallower than that, but she still has a look.
Missy Gannon had her best performance of the season at the Music City Open.
Decent landing.
From Kansas City, Missouri, Allie Smith.
And the fans excited to watch Allie take on this course. In front of those trees.
Yeah, that's kind of what you're looking for. It's a little tougher to do.
Haley King.
Haley King out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Just played her first event, Music City Open, finished 10th. It's the kind of course she could really shred.
100%.
Time to send it back down to Dixon. He is walking with the Kansas City kid, Allie Smith.
All right, Allie. This is a good spot off of hole 1. Is this your traditional play?
Yeah, traditional play, just to kind of get safe somewhere. Don't go in the lake, don't go in the OB.
If you've got a favorable wind, do you ever just rip on this?
No. I just go more over favorable wind, just kind of actually disc down.
Yeah.
Safe. I'm playing this for par. I'd be very happy just to calm the nerves and get going here.
Well, you're sitting great to go do exactly what you've planned. Good luck today.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Go over to the 12th, third shot from Mandahano after pitching out of the woods.
Oh, her backhand looks solid right now, Charlie. Beautiful touch shot.
Luca Lorenzen on at the green with a look at birdie. She's sitting at even par. Let's take a look now at the birdie zone on hole number 1.
I would say this is pretty much accurate. You're not going to see players laying up short of the water. They're all going to try to crash that hyzer into the left side. It's tricky, though. The OB kind of pinches, and the farther left you go, the safer your tee shot is, the harder it is to, accessing that green. It's a very small green in regards to flat ground. If you go a little deep, you can slide and roll outside circle 2 even. So, interesting opening hole for the FPO division. You got to show some restraint.
Play disc golf without leaving home with Birdie Pro. Join the 50,000 that have played and get your copy today. Free shipping during the Kansas City Wide Open at bodabrothers.com.
Already a misfire from Ella. It's not optimal to go forehand on that third shot to the green.
Par save for Mondahano. Nice putt.
It's always nice to see her game clicking. She's so well-rounded.
And a big misfire from King. Gets caught in the branches and ends up in the water.
Yeah, she was trying to go aggressive. I think she just wanted to swing the hyzer a little wider.
On 13, 300-foot par 3. Sneaks in bounds, and she's going to be inside circle 1.
It's got to sit down. And that's a common miss on this hole. If you want to stick the green, you're going to really have to helicopter something slow and land it softly.
Lorenzen coming off 2 birdies in a row, going for number 3. And she's going to have a look.
There's a slower disc in Allie's hand. Allie just wants a 4. And when you've played this course as many times as her, you know how hard a birdie can be, and she just wants to get off the course, get going with the stress-free first hole.
Lorenzen, 3 straight. So she's now 2 under par, climbing the leaderboard. Tied for second. Mondahano to make it a 3-shot lead. And she's in. So the clean sheet continues for Valerie Mondahano.
The winning total score after 3 rounds last year was 5 down. And that was averaging just under 990.
Katrina Allen, 2 down through 8. Fourth shot for King.
Interested to see how Haley comes out. This is going to be kind of a tough first hole for her. But she's playing a mixed bag this year. Says she's over the injuries that plagued her last year. Sounded like there was a new one that kind of presented itself. That's been kind of the story of her career. When she's healthy and focused, it's one of the highest ceilings we've ever seen in FPO. But we'll see what she's bringing to the table this week. This is tricky. Luckily, the wind is down. Still a little bit of work left. They've put so much work into this property, and I expect no less from the Kansas City community. They have so many beautiful courses out here. I think of Waterworks, I think of Black Hoof. I think of all these awesome courses out here. I actually want to throw it down to Dixon. Dixon, talk to us about all the disc golf that Kansas City has to offer.
It is varied, and it is there's so many courses, and it just makes for a great time as a visitor because you can absolutely fill up your days playing phenomenal disc golf, or as a local, the work that goes into it is really amazing, and not just from the players, but the city has actually come along on a lot of these courses and put in some great work, specifically Black Hoof. That's a relatively new course, and I have never seen a municipal park that is that clean. The city loves disc golf, the players love the city, and the players love disc golf, and so it just makes for a really great environment to throw some Frisbees in.
And while Dixon was talking, we just saw a horrible mistake from Allie Smith. Hand just does not want to pop that disc when she makes that traditional putting motion. Rough mistake. But yeah, this community is just so established, and I knew the moment the Pro Tour wanted to come back here, it was just going to be business as usual for these guys. It's a tough par look. It's a treacherous opening hole, Charlie. The green is only, 15 feet from the front edge of the OB. And then the downslope starts 10 feet behind the basket.
I think this is going to prove to be an iconic hole one on tour this season. Haley can't convert for the bogey. She's going to take a double here on the first.
And it doesn't seem like anything special, but when you do play for that traditional landing zone, you're looking at this really tiny green.
Just 12% of players taking a birdie here, and Allie Smith can't pop it up again, and she's going to take a double after playing for par.
Man, I know the feeling of when the hand just doesn't want to open. And that's exactly what drove her to kind of develop that different style of putt.
It's early, but hole one is playing as the hardest hole on the course. 29% par, 35% bogey, 24% double or worse. And that doesn't include the players about to tap in for their double bogeys. Ella takes a bogey. Double bogey for Haley. Smith in for the double, and Missy Gannon gets a stress-free par, and that's going to feel like a big win after watching the rest of her card.
100%.
To the 14th, Lorenzen.
Great line. Just take something stable, lean on it. Second shot is really challenging. Little different approach from
I did not try to go over there.
Val. Heiser flip versus flex.
Oates Scoggins and Holland Hanley are on your top feature card this morning. They'll be teeing off in just a few. We'll be back on the Disc Golf Network.
Welcome to the 2025 Zuka Mandatory Safety Training Meeting. These are key and essential.
Hey guys, first time, huh?
While these
This is my favorite week of the year. Right, Owen?
Yeah. 看天不有天真的
Accidents, injuries, damage. The zoo. If we're not here to learn, the exit's right over there.
Gonna fly away. You can go. Gonna find a life like this where we belong.
So the no way! You talking about superhero stuff? There's a flying Kev man.
I knew Levi before Pound was a company. He wants it to be perfect. And I think he's the kind of guy that nothing's ever perfect. At this point, I don't think anyone's disputing that it's the best bag ever made. It's the most comfortable bag that I've ever worn. Most tough and well-built and long-lasting thing that I'd ever tried on.
Disc Graph built for flight.
With Kristen Latt back in Estonia for the week, Holland Handley is the highest rated player in the field, the pre-tournament favorite, and she's getting ready to go with the rest of the feature card. Go back out to 14. Luca Lorenzen throwing her second on the 700-foot par 4.
It's just a long drifting turnover. Basket right next to the water. It's one of those tough second shots where you actually have to throw an understable disc on Anheuser. You don't really have a lot of room to push it forward and flip it. Now Missy up here on 2. Island shot.
Sticks it.
Got to keep going. Not bad, safe.
Hansen on the second. Just sneaks it up over the wall and on the green. Birdie look for Mondahano to get to 6 down.
A little bit closer to the basket than we previously thought, but just outside C1. Obi right behind.
Scary putt.
A scary putt and a scared putt. Par ahead.
Allie Smith. Forehand off the back wall.
If Val can par out and keep the 5 down opening day, I think that's going to sit really, really well. I mean, the wind is down. I think it's scoreable conditions, but great start.
Taking a look at hole 1 and our top feature card. Lisa Fakis, Owen Scoggins, Holland Handley, and Kat Murch getting set to tee off.
This is the 930. This is our feature car. And teeing off first. She is the reigning and defending Kansas City Wide Open champion from Canyon Lake, Texas, Lisa Vegas.
Lisa has respect from a lot of disc golfers out there. She is such a grinder out here on the tour and such a consistent golfer.
Lisa got her best finish of the season at the Music City Open. Playing it to that water's edge.
That's perfect positioning if you want to play chicken with the OB like that.
Lisa's still looking for her first top 10 of the year.
Well, this is who finished right behind Lisa last year, Owen Scoggins. Going flick off the tee. She is going to try to maybe play it closer to the water. I actually really like that. Instead of the long backhand that gives you a gap you have to hit, smaller green.
Great look at the shape of this fairway from the Flight Factory drone.
It was a tough day on the course yesterday at match play for Kat. This is a great chance for redemption to right those wrongs. She is going power hyzer. And those are the kind of lies that kind of shot gets you. It's hard to get it on the other side of the tree line. I kind of like the chip forehand, even though it makes a longer shot, you see more of the green.
Or can I quick battery on 3? Can I quick battery on 3?
This course has given us a lot of scoring separation across the board. Now up ahead, Allie Smith.
You see how she doesn't really look at the basket until the last possible minute and puts it in.
Well, you see how nice the putt looks when the hand remembers to do its job. I mean, Allie has a really solid push putt.
Missy doesn't get it up in the air. She'll have to settle for her second straight par. So Valerie Mondahano, quick layup off the tee on 15, so her second.
Making it really hard on herself, too. That was kind of a soft layup.
Heidi Laine gets the eagle on 4, and she is flying up the leaderboard early with the best start we've seen.
What I love about this is, you know, she got the 3 on a pretty open par 5, and then she goes right into the woods on hole number 5, showing off a different skill set. This course, I really think, challenges the players in all facets of their game.
First eagle of the day on the 4th. She hit a 34-foot putt to get the 3.
So hole 3, you want to get the disc to move left, at least the best you can to set up that second shot. But now, let's see if she can save the par.
And she knocks it down, so great round continues for Val.
I actually like that play, not trying to stick the actual green itself, but playing pin high, crash those trees.
Maybe a little early morning stiffness in the shoulder blade there from Holland. keep an eye on that. This is the third shot for Kat.
Oh boy. Not a great start. That's kind of what happens when you throw that hyzer and get yourself into trouble.
Didn't come even that close to making the green. You can see how delicate this shot is if you want to actually land up on the top.
Look at this aggression from Owen. Gorgeous. It's the best second shot we've seen so far. That's kind of what the hole wants you to do. Throw it high, little nose up, flat, and let it slowly crash at the end. You can't come in with too much pace on this green.
So we see the forehand off the tee. Basically the only player we've seen throw that shot, and then a perfect approach. She's going to have a tap-in birdie. Oh, Lisa overcooks it. And in the drink.
That's just a misfire. Can't really put too much stake in that shot.
Pretty sure that was out. Right here. Right, yeah.
Well, the shot doesn't get that much easier from here. Her fourth. There it is.
Oh, we'll get a cover there. Thank you. Like that. I did not.
One thing players have to adjust to is that almost every shot from the fairways is on slope on this Bad Rock course.
And a lot of times you're having to throw some power behind it as well. Helps.
Second shot for Hansen on the third.
Yeah, it helps to have a forehand like Ella's, especially throwing these fairway shots. It's a little bit easier to get the footwork dialed in.
Fifth shot for Murch.
That's committed, huh?
Should do that anyway.
It's going to be a tough save for a double.
I doubt that it's even going to be a try for a save. Is he second? Little slope. Nice shot. Like you said, Charlie, there's a lot of rolling hills out here, so you really have to check your center of balance throwing these fairway shots. And speaking of which, out there.
Hansen for birdie. Back-to-back birdies for Ella. She's under par. Missy gets her first birdie of the round.
Still outside the bullseye. Confident run. I still do like the play of just going stable hyzer. Not trying to do what Owen just did. That's a pretty high skill shot.
Owen for the first birdie we will have seen on the hole, and there it is. So great start for Owen. Lisa hits the bogey And a triple bogey for Cap Merch. Get things started. And Dixon, tough opening hole.
Yeah, and I love it personally. I mean, this makes me think of some of the best hole ones that we have on tour. You know, if you think about Winthrop or Maple Hill or Toboggan, this one really makes them make some choices off the front. And if you look at the stats, 89% fairway for everybody, 11% birdie, if that doesn't tell you how difficult the second shot is. However, unlike these other courses, we have an opportunity for a bounce back birdie here. Let's see if we can go 4 for 4 in the island like the first card did.
Let's take a look at hole 2 and this island.
204 feet uphill. It's this little keyhole island that they've created, and just beautiful stonework all over the course. We'll talk more about that later, but the basket's just peeking out at you in the distance. And I think this is one of the easiest shots you'll see on this course. If you have that stable forehand we saw Ella throw, it's a no-brainer. Only when the wind picks up do things get tricky here.
This whole flyover is presented by Zenni, eyewear for everyone. Fans can use code DGPT for 10% off their order. Those 2 wooden pillars are just there to make the shot a little trickier. It's not a Mando.
High chop forehand. I don't know if that's coming back in.
To the drop zone for Scoggins.
Driving categories have been pretty rough for Own this year. It's been the scramble and the putting that's been really saving her. Holland, on the other hand, is killing people in the driving categories, except for really Kristen. Lisa's leaking a little left. That's going to sit in play. And man, so much calmer than yesterday's match play event. Dixon, can we get a wind read right now? What's it blowing like right now? And is it the same direction you talked about this morning?
Well, it has swung around, so now it would be an almost straight headwind on hole 1, so a tailwind for this group on 2. But as you can see on the flag on the basket, it is laying limp right now. This is as best as they can expect, and man, they ought to play as fast as possible to try to take advantage of this right now.
Third shot for Mondahano on 16.
Yeah, it's just fine.
Scoggins from the drop zone. Now Merch. So we go over to hole 4. 2 eagles now on the 4th. Katie Lina got it. Jennifer Allen got it. Ella's got the power.
Distance looks good. You want it to fade a little bit right on that to cut off some distance. Now Lucky up ahead on 16. There's an opportunity.
Fakis.
Air ball, no wind. And Lisa, frankly, one of the better putters that I've seen in FPO, so just shaky start so far.
Hauling in. She gets to 1 down. For a 4. So Murch, tough start to the round. Lisa, a little weak, but gets it to go left side. Saves the par. Scoggins takes the bogey. Back to even. Just a pitch up for Mondahano. She'll be putting for par. Back to the 4th. Hansen 2nd.
Oh, wow. Forehand down the left. That's a huge shot.
She'll be putting for eagle. Birdie putt for Lorenzen. Runs it. Doesn't really come that close and now has some work left for par. Second shot for Missy.
Needs a little flare. Nothing.
Lorenzen for par. Kind of a roller coaster round for Lorenzen.
Definitely got some birdies out here. But we're going to see these types of scorecards all weekend long out here. Getting in trouble doesn't take much. The birdies seem pretty straightforward. You know where the landing zones are. There's nothing really fluky on this course. But it's tough. It's really tough. And this hole 3 is just a prime example. It's a touch shot off the bat, and then you throw that awkward second shot with a little power, with a slope. But you got to get it moving left right away. I've seen some players going forehand flex to just get it through the gap from a better angle. Some fancy footwork from Fakis. It takes a lot to have to start on the tee pad, drop off the tee pad, and actually make a legal throw from back on it. Here's the flex sidearm we're talking about. I actually really like this play. Because if you can get up here, you do have flat footing.
Triple bogey, bogey start for Murch. Trying to get something going here on the 3rd.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's great. You'll be able to go forehand or backhand from there. If you're too low on the hill, backhand just doesn't feel good. It's a lot of power to put behind it.
Let's go to the 17th. Mondahano. Coming off to par on 16.
Her timing just looks really dialed in today. Nice shot.
Missy's 3rd on the 4th. Has that left for birdie. Back to 17. Lorenzen.
That's where things get messy out here.
Back to the 4th. Hansen has an eagle look.
Was that a soft run?
I don't know what that was. She might have a tough time getting the birdie now. Nice recovery from Lucca.
Yeah. And I'm trying to feel
Reason you're not seeing a lot of aggression on these shots is the OB pinches right up towards where you want to throw to the greens, so you can't really bite off too much on that second shot. You're just putting it right pretty much where everybody else's drive went. Little bit of slope right to left. Got to really fight to keep your center of balance back so your weight doesn't fall down left.
Looks like trouble for Cat again, but gets the green flag today.
Told you.
I need to go to bed.
She's ready for bed already.
Jeez, man.
Well, the yellow smiley face flag and the black pirate flag not here.
It's a match play exclusive,
Match play
Charlie.
exclusive. They should sell those flags on Disc Golf Pro Tour Pro Shop following the event.
Lisa's second. That's got to check up quick.
This thick grass is just not going to give you skips.
I do like that they only mowed the fairways down, because I think it's good to let the players have to fly the green.
It does settle down, and she's got that left for a par.
And we saw yesterday in the match play, this course stresses players out, even in like a fun exhibition. Players are really on edge out here. Some really solid backhands from Owen right now. Great one to the green on one. Nice approach here on three.
Fourth shot for Fakis. And almost puts it in the basket. That'll be for bogey. Back over to the fourth. Birdie putt for Ella Hansen. No. And now another long putt. And so from an eagle bid to a possible bogey coming up for Hansen. Disaster.
It's holes like this, when you make an elementary mistake like that, that just make you feel really tense. Got to put this in, take a breath. Try to reset on the next hole.
A good make for a Hansen up the hill. She does save the par, but she'll be thinking about what could have been an easy birdie.
Nice shot there from Lucky. Long look for Cat after just being in bounds.
Back over to the fourth. Missy Gannon for birdie. And it's back-to-back for Gannon.
This is tricky for Val. What a creative play. I don't think a lot of players would be looking left there. Really nice shot.
Fake it for bogey. That'll drop her to 2 over. Scoggins taps in for a birdie. So Lorenzen trying to save the par after catching an early tree on the 17th, and she does it. She's tied for 4th.
I think if she keeps the one down, it's going to play just fine.
Feels like one of the first mistakes we've seen from Val so far today.
Just about to say the same thing.
Just shorts it, so she'll settle for par. Gannon on 5.
Oh, that was a rip. That's a great spot for the backhand. And if you're a backhand-only player on hole 5, that's kind of your only option. That left side is pretty much exclusively for the forehand. It doesn't seem to be that 5 under is going to be the total score for the winner this weekend, Charlie. What do you think?
I don't think so.
I do not think so at all.
We'll see how that 5 under that Val's got going holds up across the course of the day. Let's take a look at hole 4.
Par 5, 939. Obviously, from the scores, we're seeing that it can be eagled. You can get really aggressive with this tee shot. Try to throw something that flips, turns a little bit. And if you can be on the right side of the fairway, far enough up there, you can throw another one of those long distance turnovers down the hill and hopefully get to the green. Problem is those rocks that build up that green on that left side make it really challenging to get to get yourself to a flat spot. Otherwise, you're putting uphill at an elevated basket. It gets tricky out there.
So far, coming in as the 3rd easiest hole on the course. No surprise, given it's eagleable for the big arms.
If you're playing this for the birdie 4, the hole is pretty straightforward.
This is a treacherous green, though. Dixon, can you talk a little bit about the greens here at Bad Rock?
Yeah, the designers have done a fantastic job out here. In just about every hole, there is a bad 20-foot putt. You want to be on the good sides, and you want to have your disc in a spot where you can approach from. Yes, you can play this hole for the easy birdie, just put a drive out there and then chip down to the bottom of the hill. However, if you end up in that collection area, that's 130 feet, but you need to go 20 feet uphill, and you have 2 sentinel rock piles that are going to play a little bit of defense against you. You really have to manage this hole and all of the greens well out here if you want to go low.
You hear the discussion all the time of how we make putting harder in disc golf. Just it's always going to be easier to get the disc in the basket than putting the ball in the hole in traditional golf. And I really think building the green strategically is how we're going to get there. And that's essentially going to be an automatic play for 4 for Holland, which might be a good thing. Relieves her of any temptation. And Lisa's absolutely playing this one for a 4. Going to the high side's nice.
Let's go to 18.
This is a really tight slot to have to get to. You want to push it as left as you can without being in those bushes. And I think that was done pretty well. Now Missy's second on 5, going flick. And she's just playing this for a 4. Really conservative second shot. I was thinking she was going to air it out a little bit more. She still has a pretty decent ways to go to the green. And you see how far back she is compared to where the others are.
Still see her maybe dealing with a little bit of stiffness in her right shoulder.
Lisa about 550 from the pin. And just didn't get over on it. So much space off to the left and could not find it. Owen looking to make a correction from a pretty similar spot. And we'll see.
I think that's going to be okay on that right side.
Maybe skipping the boot.
Third shot for Gannon on the 5th.
That's going to be an annoying par putt. Just inside the circle. It's confident shots like that. That's the reason why she's a multiple-time tour champion.
Cat bombing one out there, a little flip over backhand, and that's going to fight up to circle 3. Little chip up for potential birdie. Third shot coming from Mondahano.
This is scary. Little peninsula you get to throw to. Oh boy, no reaction there.
And red flag for Val. And she's going to have to throw again from the far side of the fairway. Allie Smith in for the par on the 5th. Let's roll back the Zuka replay.
Yeah, this has just got to feel so good. 38-footer. And that's the pop she's been missing. That's a couple really nice looking putts this round.
Circle 2 has not been a problem. Missy for par. Hit the tree on the approach. No problem. Tied for third at 2 under. So Holland pretty conservative with her second shot.
I would assume it's because she wants to be kind of on the same playing field as the basket, and there you go.
Absolute park job from Handley.
I know it's a spike hyzer, but landing it within that small of a window is just really impressive.
I was trying to pitch it out, honestly. Like, coming right at you. You're good though. Yeah. Sorry. Didn't have anything.
You're in.
Going forward. Yeah.
So Lisa
Okay.
taking the medicine.
Shit, I'm not going short here.
Par putt for Hansen on 5. $300 feet. to the basket for Fakis. Trying to get up and down for par.
Thought we were going to see her hop up onto the green, but that's still a solid shot.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've got that uphill.
Right at it, yeah.
That uphill dagger.
Back to 18. Now the 5th shot for Mondahano.
Still a really, really nice day for Val.
Second shot on the 5th for Haley King, where we've seen no birdies today, but she's going to put it in the bullseye.
That was a nice little karate chop forehand.
Haley King is going to take the first birdie on hole 5. Scoggins, 3rd.
Another really great backhand from Owen. Timing looks great.
It's not going to roll from there.
We saw before the round Owen Scoggins getting some work done on her arm. Dixon, can you tell us about what that was all about?
Yeah, apparently Owen has found a little bit of poison ivy. They don't know if it was out here or if it was at a previous course. But in speaking with her caddy, he says, no, she's way too focused. She's not going to worry about it during the round. You probably won't even see her mess with it. But he did say that she'll save up all of those itches and all of those complaints and let him know all about it after the round is done.
Well, she seems no worse for wear right now, throwing well.
The big one, too.
I feel like she can snap into that competitive spirit better than almost anybody in the
I
division.
know.
Never forget Worlds in Vermont just a little bit ago. Just playing until she can't play anymore.
Yeah.
It's not looking good, man. It's just straight up.
So this is from earlier.
Trying to cover her poison ivy now.
Wrapped up here.
Oh, you got poison ivy again?
Yeah, it's terrible. So I'm so excited. Next week I'm going home. I'm gonna go see a doctor, and then.
So Owen getting a little rest time next week. Get it worked out. Fakis. Heard her say she liked the putt, and you can see why. She saves the par.
Yeah, you also don't have to mark it if you don't want.
Oh, that's what happened.
Just like stick it right here and pop it in if you want.
Just go back to your lie and try to do that again.
We couldn't see from the camera shot
That was fine to me.
Yeah.
where the disc was.
I know.
So the grip EQ sign, keeping it nice and close for Owen, and she gets the birdie.
I've seen some weird lies. I really don't know how that happened.
And a great birdie for Holland Handley after an excellent approach shot. And Kat Murch in for the birdie, starting to fight her way back towards even par. Back-to-back birdies now for Murch. Valerie Mondahano putting for bogey on 18. So she will finish her day 4 under, the lone bogey coming on the final hole. She's got a 1-shot lead over Heidi Leina. Owen Scoggins getting a little help from
my sponsor, Grip.
GRIPeq, her sponsor, the tournament
Thank you,
sponsor.
Mwah, mwah.
We'll be back.
Some of my favorite discs in my bag are the A-Series discs. They're the ones I lean on to get close to the basket, and each of them have a consistent grip. So as you cycle through the series, you won't have to change the way that you hold the disc. These are torque-resistant discs that are more stable than the PA Series, provide a consistent fade at the end of the flight. The best way to find your flight is to get out and use these discs yourself.
I'm Anthony you, bro. I got the MBPX1 by Grip Equipment, and it's quickly become my favorite bag I've ever owned.
There's a place where the game meets the extraordinary. Eagles Crossing Disc Golf, a realm of lush fairways and peaceful woods, where every hole offers a new chapter in your adventure. Explore this one-of-a-kind disc golf property that boasts not one, but 2 championship-level courses. Eagles Crossing is where your perfect round begins. Book your tee time online at eaglescrossingdiscgolf.com.
Hello, we're Kenna. We're a Dutch growing company. We love plants, and we want to tell you some cool things about them. Just like humans, plants can communicate. They can sense when another plant is close. Plants look out for each other too. They warn neighbors about nearby threats by secreting substances. And studies have shown that plants love a good tune. We love and understand plants. Let our passion excite you too.
Oates Goggins teeing off on hole 5 as the Disc Golf Network's coverage of round 1 of the Kansas City Wide Open continues.
Yeah, money. You want to push this gap as far as you can. The higher on the hill you go, the better vision you have of the basket. A lot of the time, if you're lower, you can run the green, but then you can't see the water just in front of it. Yeah, being back there, even with a solid shot from Kat, that's just going to be a really tough birdie. Got to almost hyzer flip a forehand. Yeah, that's what Holland was trying to do. A little higher, and that would have been really solid. It's a tough shot to pull off. You need a lot of good spin.
Is Ganna teeing off on 6?
It's a little deep of the gap, unfortunately. Not sure if she's going to have a look at the green from there. And yeah, Kat just cannot see the green. Not worth going for the birdie there.
Lisa Fakis in some trouble for her second.
Good out.
So nice pitch out there for Lisa.
As we fly over, I want to throw it down to Dixon. Dixon, not many birdies at all on hole 5 for the FPO division. What is making this par 4 so tough to get?
It's all about the drive on this one. There are only a few places where you can feel really confident going into this green, and everything else you're dealing with side slope footing, uphill throw, and a green that's sloped going back to front towards the water, and lots of guardian trees. So if you come in low, you're going to leave yourself a circle's edge uphill putt. If you come in too high, you hit a tree and hit the ground and almost certainly go drinking after that. So it really takes a great drive and then really proper course management if you want to be putting here.
Well, we see Holland trying to size something up. And that is tricky. Man, that's a great shot. You got the slope footing. She knew her weight was going to fall that way, so she stabled up. Let the disc drift off to the right with her body weight and then check back up at the end. That's really good decision. 4.74 average today.
Only one player has gotten into C1 in regulation and just 3 into Circle 2 in regulation.
Owen's got a shot. Safe. Long run to the basket from there if she wants it. It's the third hardest hole in the course. Has the least birdies of the top 3 hardest holes. Hole 1 playing almost a full stroke over par today. But the scoring spread doesn't look too bad.
No, I mean, it's a gettable birdie. It takes a very good second shot, but see, Missy finds a tree with her second. Third for Fakis.
Fakis is kind of the throw-in champion. We saw her just completely go off at Ledgestone last year.
It still gets over. It's a little tricky here with the ceiling.
Yeah, she's going to have to just throw it dead straight at the basket.
There you go, Kat.
I love that hyzer release from Kat. Definitely had less wobble than some of her other flex shots.
Well, we're going to hear now from Valerie Mondahano, your leader in the clubhouse.
All right, we're here with Val Mondahano. Val, you shot 4 down today. How's that feel?
It felt solid. I got out there and I felt like I finally just played disc golf.
Where does 4 down fit in the plan going into the round? Were you thinking that'd be a good score, or did you have a plan for where you were trying to get to?
I really didn't have a number in mind. I was just like, let's just keep it in bounds and let's just keep clean disc golf. And I feel like that's what I did. So I'm happy.
How was the course playing out there in the wind?
It was challenging. I feel like on hole 18 in particular, I didn't throw it in practice when it was a headwind. It was tailwind every day. It was just a left to right, right to left. And this time I was scratching my head on what to do.
When the wind keeps changing like that every day, what does that do to the mental focus during the rounds as the wind changes?
It kind of just makes me think a little bit extra, but I think that's where all the field work comes into play, especially on the windy days when you don't want to. You just pretty much have to trust your disc and, you know, plan it up in your head and try to execute it.
All right, well, Val Mondahano, 4 down in the clubhouse, the early leader. We'll see you later.
Thanks.
That's it. It's just intuition. And like she said, if you go out to the field and spend hours and hours just seeing what your discs are capable of in different conditions, that's going to pay off for you this weekend.
Hanley's got a C2 look for birdie. Circle 2 has been a little tricky for Hall in the last couple of tournaments.
Yeah, and she's really given some good bids. She's just missed a little high, little left, little right. Release point just not quite dialed.
Fake is for par. Challenging sloped greens.
Yeah.
Let's go to 6. Haley King. Third shot.
Oh!
Off the cage. That didn't miss by much.
That was just so pure. And a little smirk from Haley. She knows it would have been nice if it dropped.
Gannon for par. Knocks it down. Remains bogey free. Tied for 5th. Take a Lina has caught Mondahano at 4 under. What a front 9.
Spectacular front 9, and getting the eagle on hole number 4 is not an easy task to travel that distance in 2 shots.
Well, Burge also 3 down through 9.
Well, and what I was saying is I am excited to see players, both Cadence and Haiti, continue on through this course. Once you cross kind of the parking lot to get to the back 9, you face kind of a completely different style of golf. Oh, no. That is the 7-10 split equivalent in disc golf. That's rough.
Double bogey for Fakis after the 3-putt. Tap in for par for Holland and Cat and Own. So it is just one birdie on the day on hole 5, Haley King.
This is a tough hole. It's right in front of you, but it's a little bit downhill. I also like that there is room to throw hyzer flip or flex. The gap's not overwhelmingly large. It starts a little bit later. But only 321. It's kind of that tweener distance for quite a few players. $37-footer or so for Ella. Now back to 6. Own. Just trying to get the distance right. This is all about depth perception and feel, and that's perfect. It's not that far of a shot.
Got to get to the landing zone, and then second shot into the woods. And Dixon, this is one of a number of holes out on this course that kind of require a landing zone shot and then a big directional change.
Yeah, there are 6 holes out here at Bad Rock that are as bent as a politician. 3, 4, 6, 8, 14, and 18. On this one, you need to throw 185 feet to get to your landing zone, but that landing zone leaves you with 300 through the woods. So it's not like that's the shot you want, but that's the best you can get off the box unless you go super aggressive like Holland did. But she did not make all the way through like she did yesterday, so she is in a little bunker of trees, probably about 250 uphill, standstill forehand. It's going to be a tough up and down.
Okay, still a little bit of work left for Missy. A couple of the same mistake, just leaning on it a little bit too much.
There's Haiti Lina, tied for the lead after the birdie on 9. Waiting in a backup before teeing off on hole 10. Lina, one of the few European players in the FPO field this weekend. And as that camera zooms out, you can see that wrap on her right knee. She has been dealing with a ligament injury in that knee, but has decided to play through it. Did have a little bit of a scare earlier this season, kind of having it buckle on her coming off of a tee pad. But can't make it worse. So she's playing, and today she's playing fantastic as we catch her now teeing off on the par 3 10th.
It's 336, but the wind starts ripping out here at this part of the course, so you have a decision to make. Do you lay up short? Do you run the green? This has got to get down. And that's going to be a red flag. Out of bounds for Haiti Lina as she starts the back 9. That's going to be a long run for Own, but still a couple of nice safe shots. The speed on the backhand looks significantly faster today for Owen. It looks really solid. Trying to go techie forehand on the second.
It's going to be circle 2.
Like, that's the worst I've thrown it all week.
Because I didn't even practice. Like,
It's like, wait, you hit this? Like, that's still better than in the...
Because most of the time, because your angle go like this. It's probably because your angle
I can get all the way through though when I like hit it right.
That makes it a lot easier.
Like yesterday, I got all the way on the there's like that little route, like left to that street. I got there. Yeah.
Maybe the last day.
I mean, that's your kind of shot.
So Holland and Owen talking shop about the tee shot. Missy for the par save.
I don't think it's you next. I thought it would have been me.
Gannon's gonna grab a bogey. First of the round. Smith for birdie. Off the top. Take another look.
It looks great from this range. It's got to feel good to just have the feeling back.
Birdie look for Hansen. Ooh. Birch.
Wow. That's all I got.
You know, the forehand hasn't really come naturally to Kat. She's put a lot of work in, but man, she's thrown some solid shots today with it.
Owen can't convert the 50-footer for birdie.
Are we going to see Owen take the inside forehand now? I'm surprised that she didn't already.
With Holland, I wouldn't be surprised.
Totally surprised that wasn't even her first instinct.
Holland for birdie.
Come on. Oh my God. Right there. Oh my.
Well, it sounds like Dixon just told us from the ground, he picked up from Holland and Owen's conversation, that they just agree that this is a great disc golf hole. The inside line is risky, but it gives you a good advantage. If you play the safe shot, your second's really tough.
We just saw Holland come close on that C2 putt. When you're close, you're on the metal a bunch like that, and you're just not quite there. What does it take to like start finding the chains?
Time. It's time and just not giving up and trusting that these are good strokes. You're just missing by a tiny bit.
Another miss from Fakis on the green. A struggle around. Fakis is going to take another bogey and drop to 5 over. Missy Gannon takes her first bogey of the round. She drops to 1 under. Hole 7 coming up for our top feature card. Haley Lina, Cadence Burge, Valerie Mondahano tied for the lead.
At Pound, the quality of our gear runs deeper than the stitching. That's why we make everything right here in the US, employing highly skilled, well-paid professionals. From bomb-proof Cordura fabric to YKK zippers and recycled plastics, we source the highest quality US materials to make the most comfortable, durable pack in disc golf. Our lifetime warranty stays with the pack, not the purchaser. So regardless of how you find us, we will be here to make sure your pack stays on the course and out of the landfill. Pound's integrity is held together with more than just thread.
Almost. Kind of getting better. You'll get it. You'll get it.
Dang, she over par.
Why does he get the special spot?
Because.
Sit there. Easy, bazooka.
Cadence Burge, a moment ago on the 10th. Third birdie in a row, and now has a share of the lead. I don't think Cadence Burge is an up-and-comer anymore, Brian. I think she's starting to look like she's arrived.
We've talked to her, or talked about her pretty much every weekend. And like you said, she's tripled her top 10 count this season, had one previously, and she's still so young. You love seeing a young player come on the scene and consistently put up good scores.
She's birdied on 5 out of the 6 holes that she's been in the green in regulation.
Another really beautiful backhand from Owen. Really like hole 7. Like I said, it's kind of the tweener range for a lot of players. Do I throw a fairway? Do I throw a mid? Do I throw a distance driver?
Oh, what a beautiful shot.
You just got to do that. Just do that. I believe that was a mid from Cat. That was really smooth.
On the 11th, Burge.
Pure hyzer. Yeah. Nicely done.
Back to 7, Handley.
And that'll do just fine for Holland.
Hitilina on 11. Gonna go standstill. 286-foot uphill par 3. She's got huge power. Needs to settle down.
I think that's fine. Low ceiling here on 8. Yeah. Basket placement allows the players to throw a fast, stable driver and just jam it into the ground. Nice shot.
Lots of under par scores today. But I think this course just puts up a little too much resistance for someone to shoot an 8 or 9 under out here.
It would just take a spectacular day. It's totally doable. These birdies are right there in front of you. But there's just a good mix of power and touch that's challenged.
On our 2 feature cards today, Holland Hanley is the only one bogey free. That's a nice birdie. She's now 3 under, 1 shot off the lead. Scoggins gets to 3 under as well. Cat Murch taps it in for the birdie. Gets back to 1 over par. At least Fake is in for par. No bogeys yet for Lisa. Here's King for birdie on 8. Just a beautiful stroke from Haley King on the green. Cadence Burge has a chance to take the outright lead with this putt. A little high. Hansen. Birdie. First since the third. This again and putting for par. Lina has a chance to take the outright lead.
And this has just been what we've seen from Haiti when she's not feeling confident. Now the comebacker. Now the wind's in her face.
Yes. Got a nice make for the par. So she's one shot back.
No, I had a donut.
Yeah, like I said, this basket placement is off to the left, so it allows the players to just rip something stable out there. Frankly, I'd love to see a secondary pin position that's pushed more centered to kind of tempt the players to challenge the ceiling and throw more of a hyzer flip. But now you just got to get this birdie.
Do you think we should see more pin position changes on the Disc Golf Pro Tour?
I think sometimes. Sometimes I feel like with tour events being back-to-back to back-to-back sometimes, I think giving players 2 days to practice 2 different locations is tough, but I do like them.
Straightforward hole. Cadence Burge, Valerie Mondahano tied at 4 down. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
It's Simon's throw, 2 behind our leader.
Driving project. That's a sick roll. Birdie. 1 down, 1 to go. And it just started raining.
Test of strategy, timing, and karma. Do you have what it takes? Order your game today.
In the last 2 years, the Power Disc Golf Academy has helped over 12,000 disc golfers improve their game. Our program has proven time and time again to increase our members' performance and ratings. With over 250 video tutorials taught by the world's best players, it's easy to see why our academy is so trusted. To celebrate, we're running an anniversary sale of 60% off the first year of your subscription. Visit powerdga.com and use promo code 2YEAR to join today.
Thanks for joining us. If you're watching on YouTube today, it's a great chance to sign up now and you get a free month. Just scan that QR code or go to discgolfnetwork.com and use code USAVEurope to get 1 month free. And guess what? President's Cup right around the corner, right before the Champions Cup. We've got the U.S. taking on Team Europe, and it's more competitive than ever, Brian.
Oh, and I can't wait. I know that this is the year that Europe has a big chance of winning.
Cat in for the birdie on 8. It's now even par for Murch. Hauling a little on that right side, but it catches chains.
You'd rather miss on the right than the left, especially if you're putting with some heat like Holland tends to do.
Antley now tied for the lead. Scoggins as well gets to 4 under, so we've got a 4-way tie at the top. Another misfire from Fakis on the greens. Very unusual. She's a strong putter in her career.
It happens. It can happen to anybody. Definitely rough to see, and probably feels that way for her as well.
Macy Gannon teeing off on the 9th. Got to sneak it through this narrow gap, and she does. Beautiful shot.
The backhand on this is just so smooth to watch.
All right, with some backups starting to pile up in the middle of the course, we're going to take another break. 4-way tie at the top of the leaderboard. Kansas City wide open. Round 1 continues.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, we're in Liberty. We had an amazing time. Yeah, I'll send you some photos now. The facilities were great, and the weather was gorgeous. You'd be so proud. They played hard. We got great food afterwards and went through a museum. Of course, they wanted a treat, and they wore themselves out at the pool. It's been a really great weekend. You'll have to join us next time.
Bend the reality of what a disc can be and discover Ultra Soft plastic. Ultra Soft has the best grip and flex of any plastic Prodigy has ever made. Check out the entire collection today on ProdigyDisc.com or your local retailer.
Macy Gannon putting for birdie after a great drive on the 9th. And she gets to 2 under, third birdie of the round. And Missy has been off to a bit of a slow start this season, especially when you look at what she did last year, Brian.
And she's been so good for so long at kind of keeping the injuries and all the bodily harm things away, but finally some things catching up to her, and it shakes your confidence a little bit. You start to get afraid of overdoing something, overdoing practice, throwing too hard. It's always in the back of your mind. We've seen this with Owen Scoggins over the years, but, you know, who knows? Missy still might be dealing with it.
So Dixon, as we take a look at this gap on the 9th, about how high is that distance between the ceiling and the floor?
The limb that overhangs the top of the stairs is about 11 feet. So from the tee, you've got 180 to the base of that wall that you have to hit an 11-foot square.
Forehand a little bit easier to pull off on this hole. Sneaks out.
We go to the 12th, Cadence Burge.
It's a tricky fairway. She's got to get a little flip on this. Can't push too far left. And that's where this par 4 gets real messy.
couple of strong young players here on the same card. Ellie Midling.
Wow. A little razzing from the card mates. That was a rip.
Lina.
I wonder if this standstill routine is more injury related or if it's just a comfort zone thing. I know she's always been good with it. That's better side of the fairway to get stuck on.
Perch for birdie to get under par on the day. Just pitching up. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit. Dixon, has it noticeably increased since earlier in the round?
It's about what it was when we started. We had that lull there for 4 holes or so, but it's picking back up. And actually now as they head out of the woods from 9, you're going to have super windy tee shots on 10 and 11 as they cross the road. So it's becoming a factor again.
Holland trying to lean in that C2 putt, but can't find the range. Fakis. In for birdie.
See how direct she had to play that with the wind. That was so nice.
Her first birdie of the round. It's got to feel good. Owen in for the par. Remains tied for the lead. Holland also continues to have a share of the lead. Drop in par for Kat Murch. Cadence Burge. Trying to find the stance here. This is tricky, Brian.
Yeah, this is just annoying. You got to get to the right side of the fairway, too. I think that's okay.
Oh, Kat Murch found a friend. Look at this little puppy. He's trying to say hello to you at home.
Go get your 5 minutes of fame, Luca. Congratulations, Dad. Oh my God.
That's a good dog.
That's a good dog.
That's a good dog.
Unquestionable.
That shot right there is why she's shooting the way she is. Being able to pitch out, take your medicine, and throw a gorgeous hyzer flip like that. Great shot. Aggressive on 10 for Missy. That's beautiful. Especially with that right to left. You got to really play it wide.
Second for Lina.
Be a nice stress-free par.
Stacked up leaderboard.
I'm not surprised anymore, Charlie. It just feels like this season in general, yes, Kristen's been pulling away, but man, the rest of the field just continues to rise up. I'm so happy to see Katrina shooting some good golf after taking some time off. Katie Lina dealing with the injuries, still playing well. Haley's back.
18 players within 5 shots of the lead. A lot of disc golf left today.
Charlie, we just got some word from Dixon that they might be seeing some sprinkles in the next 20 minutes or so. Dixon, can you let us in on what you're hearing out there?
Yeah, the temperature is dropping a little bit. We started off in the low 60s. We're in the high 50s now. And looking at the radar, there is a storm moving west to east across Kansas City. Looks like we're going to catch a bit of it in about 20 minutes. It's going to be here for a little bit. It shouldn't be too heavy, but they're going to have to bring their towels out and get their bags out to dry their hands. It's going to affect things for a little bit. The wind is going to be steady the whole time, by the way.
Haley King putting for birdie on the 10th. Oh, smooth. King under par. 4th birdie of the round. Saw the great tee shot from Missy. Here's her birdie putt to get within a shot of the lead. So nice birdie for Gannon. Fist bump from Ella Hansen. Go back to 12. Middling second.
Immediately out of the hand, you heard her give a little whoopsie. It happens.
Linus third.
Yeah, it's kind of that tweener putt throw distance for a lot of players. A little bit of work left. Now Fakis on 10. Hard right to left, it appears to be. Yeah, the flippy disc is just not going to get the help. Got to rip something stable with turn. Wind's going to push it straight, then late check it up. Give that help back left. It's got to keep going.
Just past the OB. Gonna have a look at the birdie.
Got to play this real wide if you want to play pure hyzer on this shot. That's going to be a frustrating headwind putt. I think if you want to keep this to the strong side of the basket and give yourself a tailwind, you're either playing a super wide hyzer, kind of a low bullet, something stable. Yeah, we'll see. Some headwind putts from circle 2. But a 3.24 average on hole number 10. It's actually scoring really well across the board. 34% birdie. Sorry, 24% birdie, 41 par, 24 bogey.
Line up for par. No. And that's frustrating because it was a straightforward upshot there.
Yeah, those are the mistakes that add up over the course of the weekend. Missy up the gut. Look at this line. So nice. You see that wind blowing hard left to right there. It's tough to get on that strong side of the basket.
Burge for par. That high miss has been the mistake for Burge. Does not lack in confidence. But she will bogey and drop out of that share of the lead. Line up for bogey. Now 2 under. 2 shots off the lead. Madison Walker in for a par. Madison is lit down the leaderboard. 3 over on the day. Holland.
It's not worth it, especially with the wind blowing back here. You hit the cage and roll back, you might be coming back to the edge of the circle.
Just like you said.
Oh, look at this. This is going to be tough. Owen's going to have to aim almost at the tray to get the lift. Got to trust that Mother Nature's going to help you on this. Yeah, that's tough.
That right to left wind pushing Owen's disc outside the chains. Fakis.
Yeah, good luck.
Nice make. Will be a bogey though after going out of bounds. Scoggins for par. Now on the good side of the basket. So 4 under. It's been a ceiling for a while. Valerie Mondahana was at 5 down for a time, but bogeyed the 18th to close out her round. And Holland and Owen can't get to 5 here on the 10th. Coming off the bogey, Katie Spurge teeing off on 13. Pretty wide. And just enough ground play to come back inside the circle.
Yeah, the out of bounds there has some pretty short grass. That's fortunate.
Missy Gannon for a share of the lead. That's turkey for Missy.
Well, she loved that putt too. Uphill headwind putt. She had to snap that thing and aim low to get the lift.
So a 4-way tie at the top again. All tour winners. And then the young Cadence Burge there at 1 shot back. Tied with the veteran Katrina Allen. Exciting top 10 right now. Lineup back with the standstill. Trickling safe. Green flag for Lina.
How's your 300-foot uphill standstill shot? Not bad?
I'm working. It's a work in progress, Brian. Let's put it that way.
That's just a smash of a shot from a standstill.
I mean, almost went OB deep. And can't believe the green flag. Car seems like they're having fun out there.
Got to count your blessings in disc golf, especially with this artificial OB everywhere out here.
Par 3 11th.
That's on the good side of the basket. If you're just short in line with the tee pad, that's great. If you're where Missy's at, you're going to have a really challenging putt. Benefits you to play left.
It's one of the easiest birdies on the course.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I really love the equal distribution of players going up the gut and players playing the wide hyzer. It's the mark of a well-designed hole. And this crosswind is making it tougher for those hyzers to get back left. Got to hug it tight.
Lina looking at birdie. Burge for a share of the lead once again.
Putting is hard, Cadence. We understand.
That's her third C1 miss in 3 consecutive holes. As we take a look again at the storylines from players that are not inside that top 5 in the tour standings. Cadence Burge, we were talking about what a great year it's been so far.
You think the Huntsville Haymaker is going to stick?
You know,
you think fans are going to flock to her yelling Huntsville Haymaker, looking for autographs?
I got to be honest with you, I don't think so.
We'll figure something out.
It's a little heavy.
It's a little heavy.
Heavy like the haymaker that she throws. There's got to be something with her last name.
So this is that tough putt we're talking about. Slight headwind. It's died a little bit since Missy putted there.
Knocks it down and has the solo lead, at least for the moment. So Holland Handley, the top-rated player in the field, the odds-on favorite coming into the weekend, now out in front. Scoggins can get a share of the lead with this putt. So we're tied at 5 down at the top with the 2 highest rated players in the field.
I love watching these two go back and forth, just 2 opposite play styles, 2 different kind of theories of course management.
A nice birdie for Kat Merchant. She's now under par on the day. What a battle back she's had.
She always shows you when she's winning the battle, too.
Another miss from Fakis on the green.
Man, you just got to feel for Lisa. This is a player that had respect from everybody, MPO, FPO, as one of the best putters out there.
And the defending champion here at the Kansas City Wide Open. Tough day for Lisa Fakis as we go to 12. Missy Gannon. 1 shot back.
We will see. Might be a little bit left.
Well, coming up, the treacherous hole 12 for our top feature card. Scoggins and Holland Handley out in front.
Jonathan. Wow! Amazing!
Jonathan. Skulle visa.
Hi. Yeah, check this pad out.
I think you should use your wrist a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
Success is not linear. It takes time and it takes belief. A belief that there is no ceiling and that the bar can always rise higher. A belief that if you set your sights to the horizon, the future will meet you there. That no matter who you are or what you've done, there's always something to prove. Disc golf was built on the backs of people who dream. And out here, what started as a dream is now a decade-long catalyst that turns dreams to moments. In our 10th season, we invite you to join us as we celebrate this beautiful game and all the moments that make it great. Catch all the action, all season long, live on the Disc Golf Network.
First major of the season is just 2 weeks away. Thursday, May 1st, the PGA Champions Cup comes to Stockton, California, the home of the OTB Open, and it'll be live on the Disc Golf Network. You can also go to dgpt.com/tickets and go watch in person. Brian, this has been the wooded major traditionally, but not so this year.
You know what? I'm excited to see what Leonard Muse has up his sleeve. Every time I talk to him, he has a new idea, a new line, a new angle out there at that property. I think it's actually going to really surprise a lot of people. I trust Leonard and his ideas out there.
I was talking to Holland Hanley this week ahead of this tournament, and I asked her, are you thinking ahead to Champions Cup? And she said, absolutely. I'm working on fixing holes in my game that I know I'm going to need to have in good shape going into the first major. Excited for a springtime major, as always. Cadence Burge got this touchy approach on 14. It's just so hard to get that to turn the whole time, and that's exactly the miss.
Well, it's really scary to actually let it turn and burn out of your sight, too, bending around that corner with the OB right behind the basket. We saw Matt Oram throw this, just a career shot. That's kind of the reason I love hole 14. It forces the players to throw a high-skill second shot. Yeah, Missy on 12, checked up too much. It's got to be flipping up to flat the entire way and hopefully get a straight skip. It's almost better to try to throw straight and hit something and stay on the right side. You can get aggressive here, a little forehand roller, but I think she's just going to try to pan one around the corner. And for Missy, you still want to stay on that right side so your backhand is open.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah.
Man, the forehand's come a long way for Missy Gannon. I feel like even just a year or so ago, she said it was still a work in progress, but that's a great shot.
Second shot for Lina. Haiti does well to get it to there with a backhand.
Yeah, and that's just going to be nice, easy up and down. It was the distance she kind of messed up on 12. Now up ahead, Haley. Tricky little forehand roller.
That's a tough third shot coming up. Hilla assessing her options.
And there are many. That's kind of what I like about Bad Rock. There is some deep rough with a lot of underbrush, but there's a secondary section of trees off the fairway where you can scramble. And there's a lot of low percentage options you can try. I'd have to think she's going some sort of wide panning forehand or hyzer flip up the gut. This looks like the best line. She's trying to go flex up the gut, and that didn't pan out for her. It's a pesky hole. Very small landing zones you have to hit. .12 for the women, only 543 feet.
Holland still bothered by that right shoulder. Saw it all the way back on hole 1. Lina. Pitches it up. We'll have a tap in for par. Love the basket location on 14.
I think it's one of my favorite holes in the entire course. But while we're waiting on 12, another one of my favorites, Dixon, can you just kind of paint the picture for us? Why is this hole truly playing as tricky as it is?
Well, it's because the drive is an illusion. When you're on the box, you see that you can't see the basket and the fairway turns to the left, and so you assume that you need to throw a hyzer. But that's the hole just trying to trick you. It is tempting you into bad things. The real shot here is to throw about 250 dead center, land on the mulch without trying to take the turn. And if you do that, you've left yourself in a really good spot. Chance at the birdie, pretty easy chance at the par if you're not able to get up and down. But as soon as you start trying to push your drive, that's when the trouble comes in. That's when the dark guys are in the alley just trying to jump out of the shadows and come get you. So avoid all of that danger and you'll be fine.
That's a great breakdown, Dixon. You can see those trees guarding that left side where the hyzers want to funnel.
Yeah, I think following the mulch is a great tip. And what's tricky is if you're not right at the elbow, you have to throw what Candace tried to throw, that really technical hyzer flip. It's not often you're going to get a stock shot up to this green.
Colorful springtime in Kansas City. Trees starting to bloom. Weather looming a bit, though. Just checking the radar. There are some thunderstorms in this cell that's going to move across the course over the next hour to hour and a half. We could see some delays, potentially. Cadence Burge lays it up on 14.
When you see those dark clouds overhead, especially as a player, you don't know what's coming next. It might be a torrential downpour, it might be a delay. You start to feel this sense of urgency. Hey guys, let's hurry it up. I want to try to get my birdies while I can.
Take a look at the Canna current conditions. No rain yet. Cooler today. Wind is definitely down compared to the match play yesterday when it was howling.
Man, that made for some really entertaining golf out here. There's some courses where when the wind picks up, it's not entertaining to watch, but man, it was a great day of match play yesterday.
It really was.
What I also love about this gap from the FPO tee pad, the trees are staggered where it kind of forces you to release with hyzer. There's not room to throw the big flex shot, so the hyzer finish is not wanted, but you have to start it on that angle. That's going to be just annoying. She's way down there, but I'm not really quite sure what she can do.
I think bad guys in the alley might be waiting over there.
I hope not.
Holland.
That's fine. It'll be a step out. Tough shot, but still opportunities.
15.
I love watching the backhand down the left gap. This is so risky.
It's got to hurry.
And that's the tough part about that shot. You're not going to get a flare off the water. It's not as forgiving at all.
So in the drink for Burge. She will head to the drop zone. Is again one shot off the lead. Puts it close. She'll have a short putt for par. Back to 15, Lina. Taking the landside gap. It's going to be tough to get up and down from there. Ella Hansen putting for par.
It's going to drop her to 1. Still in the mix, but definitely needs to grab some birdies before she finishes if she wants to win. I can't see 3-1 downs coming close to a victory this weekend.
Allie Smith drops the 3 over with the bogey.
We're going to quickly cross this way over the fairway.
Checking in on the leaderboard. Jennifer Allen climbing up to 2 under through 13.
Yeah, her and Haiti are the only two that actually got the eagle on hole number 4, so big shout outs to Jen. Got word from Dixon, nobody really in a great spot off the tee here on 12. Owen just taking her medicine. That's just going to be a chip up for par. And really on this hole, that's not bad. Averaging over a half stroke over par. 4.57 currently.
Very easy 300-foot par 3 13th. Feels like one of the few must-get birdies on the course.
Definitely. Oh boy, this is a tricky spot. That's going to be okay, but you saw what happened to Holland yesterday running this putt.
Scary run.
Now that's going to be on the playing surface. I'm curious to see what decision Holland makes here. She's way down the fairway. Checking to see if any inside flick lines are there. I think there is. I was thinking before it was going to have to be a backhand, but this is nice.
Beautiful shot from Handley. Just 11% of players getting the birdie here, averaging more than a half stroke over par. And Holland's drive could have been even better if it had missed that last tree.
Oh, this is doable. She got far enough up the fairway where she doesn't have to really juice this shot. She doesn't have to go distance driver.
And she's going to have a birdie putt.
I love it when she's firing off. Nico Lacastro.
Didn't quite get to see what Kat Murch had for us there as Missy Gannon grabs a share of the lead with a birdie on 13, 4 for 5. Owns third. Easy par putt coming up.
This hole reminds me of a Sprinkle Valley hole. Really tough, specific shot through the woods.
Yep.
There's 3 players rated over 980 in the field, and they are all tied for the lead at 5 under par. Hansen in for the birdie. She's 3 shots back. Lina, scary par putt.
Ooh. Switched it up to a safe bid and almost dropped it.
So Burge, after finding the water, goes to a knee. Try to close down the angle a little bit here on this drop zone putt on 15 for par. Oh, yeah, Cadence Burge saves the par.
Wow, okay.
After a bunch of C1 misses, Burge makes a super tough putt from the drop zone with water behind.
Well, when you go to a knee, your legs are pretty much taken out of play. And it benefits her. She's a spin putter. She's just got that curled wrist, hyzer release. This is all intuition and feel of the release point. Wow.
Still gets a little pop off that back foot.
Yeah, that's so nice. And her putting stroke is one that will scale with her the rest of her career. That's just going to get better and better. She'll develop more angles with it over time. But the skeleton, the bones are there.
Cadence collecting her disc. And that form review was presented by Disc Golf Deals USA. Discover the difference with pictures and scaled weights of every disc, same-day shipping, rewards on every purchase, and expert reviews and comparisons. Your game, our passion. A birdie for Kat Murch. So she's all the way up to 2 under, 3 shots off the lead after a triple bogey start to the round.
You gotta love it.
You sometimes see players just go on tilt or completely lose focus after a start like that.
I feel like it's a skill you learn when you get that first big win. You realize I don't have to be perfect. I just have to outlast the rest of the competition, especially when you're playing a tough course like this.
Lisa Fakis, another bogey. 8 over on the round. Owen is in for par. And with Holland Handley's fantastic approach shot, she's going to drop it in and take the solo lead at 6 under par.
Dude, yeah, no. It was crazy. You ever stepped on one of those? No, I think stepped on one at Nico Lacastro, new minis, aliens. That's all I got for you today.
That's all she's got for us, Brian.
Well, hopefully she's getting that commission.
Aliens mini. Speaking of Nico Lacastro, let's flash it back to some old school Kansas City wide open action. Nico with the fro, dropping it onto the green. Katrina Allen.
Oh, I love these Mach 3s they're playing on. This just brings you back.
43 years they've been running this tournament. How about Ricky with the birdie downhill? They were not playing Bad Rock at the time. Work on Bad Rock started about 12 years ago, and they have just poured so much energy into this course. $40,000 has been donated by the local community over the last 3 years to help develop this further. And all of the stonework around the course is courtesy of a local company whose owner is a disc golfer. It's so cool to see how much energy they've put into this place, and really a treat to see it reach the tour. Holland looking set up for another birdie.
You know, I think 13, if they want to keep it the way it is, I think this would be a prime candidate for another one of those beautifully built-up greens. Make it a little harder to access the bullseye. I'm thinking like the built-up pyramid that they have on 2 for the FPO.
Cadence on 16. 3 shots behind Holland.
She'll have some uphill footing on that. If you got a little bit more hold of that, you get flat footing. Opens up the second shot a bit. Missy's crushing the disc today. Nice shot. Long look for birdie.
A kiss off the band.
Just a tough headwind putt. It's tough to get that angle right from that distance.
Owen Scoggins led the whole field in Circle 2 putting last year, 27.9%.
Got it.
Murch keeps birdieing. That's 3 straight, and she's now 3 shots off the lead, tied for 5th.
I love that she's just shaking her head laughing like she can't believe she's making these putts. You're one of the best in the world, Kat.
Handley to get to 7. Not a problem inside the circle. Fake is for par. Scoggins taps it in for par. Remains tied for 2nd. Well, it's been some impressive disc golf from Holland Handley. 7 down through 13. Could be looking at a new course record. Kansas City Wide Open round 1 continues.
Discraft Tour Series returns. This time in the legendary Z Swirl Plastic. One of the most popular blends in Discraft history. The Z Swirl blend brings unmatched grip, durability, and those signature swirls that made it a fan favorite. Support your favorite Discraft pros and throw like the best. Discraft, built for flight.
My name is Garrett Gerthy, also known as Double G, and I'm the founder of Double G Craft Jerky.
Double G Craft Jerky is an awesome snack when you have a hankering on the course. You need a little something to pick you up out there so you can really get after a drive or finish on a putt and capitalize.
When you're playing a disc golf round and you're hungry and you don't have a snack on the course, you start to lose focus, you start thinking about what am I going to eat for dinner. With Double G Craft Jerky, that's not a problem.
Don't drown till I catch this wave.
GRIPeq 43rd Kansas City Wide Open, presented by UnderPar, continues here round one. Ella Hansen's second shot on 14. One of the toughest approach shots on the course.
We'll see. Looks like the crowd likes it. Might be a little bit short.
It says she's parked for birdie at 6 feet. Great shot.
Numbers
from
don't
Hansen.
lie. Solid shot from Cadence. Can't really do anything there with the uphill run up. Missy going flick on the second shot here on 14.
That's got to hurry back. And that just goes straight out of bounds. And Missy's really improved her forehand, but it's not comfortable.
Well, when the wind picks up too, you just have so much less spin to put into the disc. Makes it a lot harder to get the angle right. Nice
Third
straight
shot for Burge. Look at that scorecard from Cap Merge, fighting all the way back from 4 over through 2 to 3 under par.
Look at that line. Just a gorgeous line. And Charlie, I think you and I are both in agreement here that this is one of the best holes in the course.
As we see Holland step to the tee. She's sitting at 7 under. The course record set last year by Owen Scoggins is 6 under par. Dixon, I mean, it's very impressive to watch Holland today. Is the course much different than it was for last year's 6 down course record?
There's a couple of changes, but not a lot. Really, it just comes down to how the wind is treating you personally. Each player is going to have a different preference on how they want the wind on certain holes, so it really comes down to how you feel about the wind. Holland's got a very interesting shot coming up. We'll see how she feels about the wind on this tough downhill shot that she has to go to a protected green.
That's what we call it.
Own shot from the drone. That's a friendly kick, Brian.
A nice gentle kiss off the canopy. Not too bad. She's totally fine with it. Some players will turn and apologize to the rest of the card when they get quote-unquote lucky. I love a player like Owen that just celebrates beyond belief.
You know, backhand high like that. But
We all get good kicks. We all get bad kicks. Got to celebrate the good fortune.
Missy, after going OB, throwing her fourth. This is a touchy shot.
And that's just fine. Showing off some more forehand skill. Now Burge.
Nicely done. It'll be a stress-free par. Her touch on approach shots with even tricky lies like that, very impressive.
Well, you grow up, in Huntsville, or you grow up in the Southeast just playing that style of woods golf. You have to have touch like that. Think about a player like Matty O growing up in Mobile. A lot of tough, tricky woods golf out there.
Up on the green, that's where Ella Hansen was. 6 feet is a stretch. That was 4 feet. What an approach for Hansen, and she gets the birdie and gets to 3 under. Overhead view of the 14th from a Flight Factory drone. Flight Factory now offers profile photos of every disc with parting line height and dome measurements to help you know exactly how the disc will fly. Avoid surprises and shop at flightfactorydiscs.com today to find the exact disc you are looking for.
That's another opportunity for birdie for Holland. And that's why getting aggressive off this tee matters. You can throw something slower. You don't have to have something coming into the green with a ton of pace. And she looked a little shaky yesterday. She lost match play to Ella, and I'm glad to see that she's corrected her mistakes.
Well into circle 2.
Willie.
That's going to be not very tempting. I feel like if she was maybe 20 feet closer, she'd give it a safe bid, but basket is way too close to out of bounds. I'm guessing we'll see a layup.
Ella Hansen teeing off on 15 after one of the rare birdies on 14, just 3 today. Deanne Carey and Katrina Allen got it earlier. Oh, yeah. Ella Hansen. Gonna make it 4 in a row. Burge for par. No birdie since the 10th, but Burge piling up the pars. So Missy going backhand left side gap on 15.
Tricky line. That is a tough line to pull off. You kick any tree, you're automatically going to be out of bounds with that spin.
Take another look.
And it's just far enough to be a little bit scary. Forehand is a lot easier. But Missy wants the birdie. The right side really doesn't offer that. really don't think there's much of anything that I'd want to change about 14 right now. I think it lets the players throw something aggressive on the second. You have options.
So Handley can extend her lead to 3 and get 2 shots clear of the course record here on 14.
Oh, you chicken. I know. Well, I was trying to give it like a pitch bend so I wouldn't like skitter off the top.
You know, you're probably scared a little bit right there. It's kind of scary, but.
When Owen tells you it's a scary putt, that means it's a scary putt.
Missy does have a birdie look. It's a safe run.
Nope.
Tap in for the par for Holland. Let's send it down to Dixon.
Yeah, Holland wanted that birdie. She was in a great spot on a tough hole, but as soon as it hit the cage, she said, yeah, no, I can't go for that. So, yeah, when you're looking at the basket and all you can see through the chains is water, man, it is tough to commit.
See it again. Right on line, just couldn't quite commit to getting it up over the cage. Perhaps feeling some early first round crunch time nerves. It is crunch time. We'll be commercial free the rest of the way, thanks to 1010 discs.
Oh, I think someone left their water there from the tree hanging.
I love that we come from a hole like 14 where there's a big power shot off the tee, really tough shot on the second, and now we get to a much shorter technical hole on 15.
Tap in birdie for Ella Hansen. So she gets to 4 under, and this is a great one shot to the green from Hansen.
I feel like if you hit any farther, you're going to fly past the basket. That's the tough part about going forehand. We even heard Ricky Wysocki say a water skip is the most consistent thing he's found.
Well, fans can use the code DGPT to save 25% off their order at oneshotenergy.com and explore a wide range of energy chews, focus chews, and voice drops. It's got to go. And in that spot, we've seen a lot of misses, just a little short of that water and not enough to get the skip up onto the green.
It's like 1.5 feet wide, and I've seen so many players forehands hitting it. That to me says that the hole is laid out perfectly. The distance is just at the right point.
So Holland will head to the drop zone where she hit a big putt yesterday. Look at that from Owen.
That's the first time we've seen that backhand line actually get the skip back left. Would love to see the birdie from there. And it's so funny, she celebrates the good fortune on 14, but now she's cowering in fear with how close she was.
What?
Nobody can believe the gap hit there. The skinniest gap possible.
Really? No, I only throw a backhand and then only throw side arm up shot. Lay up right there. Well, here's the thing, bro. I only throw flick side arm. I'm not throw high side like you guys.
No, yeah. I'm like, I have to throw it like at the water, like I'm trying to skip it. So like, I love everything about that shot. It was just like the perfect height to hit.
Heiser sidearm from Holland, flex sidearm from Owen.
No.
It's so interesting to listen to those two talk shop. Well, bullet to the top of the hill. Must be nice.
Cat second.
It's funny, I think Own is one of the few players that can get that skip back left on 15. We'll talk more about that in a second.
There's Burge on 17.
She's really spinny with the disc. Her discs move very slowly when they flip. Nice shot. Missy also showing off some power on 16. Oh yeah, Cadence put herself in prime position here.
Cadence top 10 on tour in multiple statistical categories, including Circle 1 and Circle 2 in regulation, and C1X putting. And she's got that left.
What I was saying about Own, she's throwing a hard shot with a backhand, and it's a distance driver, so not a lot of players are going to go wide rim driver down the right side. So her disc is going to come in with pace and get that good skip back to the left.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
For birdie. Might have been for a share of the lead with Holland putting from the drop zone. Fake is in for par. Holland will tap in for bogey, and it'll be a par for Own. So Holland, first bogey of the day. She drops back to 6 under. And that officially makes Holland the last player in the field to get the bogey. So nobody bogey free on the round. Valerie Mondahano almost made it through, but bogeyed 18. So we take a look at the par 5 16th.
Yeah, this hole actually rewards a player for having speed off the tee. You want to get to the flat spot here. You want to get as high up on the hill as you possibly can. Because you're going uphill, you're not going to get that big variance left or right, so it's pretty safe right off the bat. But the flatter you can get, the more power you can get on the second shot, and the less you have to throw up the hill still, you can throw down and actually carry a lot more distance. So you can find yourself in a great position for birdie here if you do take advantage of that extra power like a player like Holland has.
Flyover presented by Zenni. Eyewear for everyone. Fans can use code DGPT for 10% off their order. We'll see if these players can close out this round before any rain falls. Looks like the thunderstorms have dissipated, so hopefully that remains the case for the rest of the afternoon.
Bit of a misfire from Missy. That's going to just leak out of bounds left. That's just not got to feel good.
Cadence Burge for the birdie.
Why are you so bad?
There's a look at the leaderboard. Val's 4 under on the second card of the day, holding up pretty well, Brian.
I knew it was going to be a good round. Just, again, looking at last year's winning score, 5 under total, and that's Owen Scoggins in the field with Lisa Fakis. That I think anything under par right now is a good start. I think you have to ramp it up throughout the weekend. Holland at 6 is just a fantastic day.
Course record is a 6 under par.
Oh no, dude.
So we had to like patch up as many like open spaces as possible, and then we did like some live traps, and then we'd like throw them up to the course and release. Probably.
I'm curious about what that conversation was about. Haley King second on 16.
Pulled the hyzer flip just a little bit too right.
Shred them alive, and they've got thin skin already. So just and then just make it right. Yeah. I love mine. Well, cats.
We keep coming in at the wrong time, Charlie.
It comes with them. Maskies. Killers.
Everyone can come up with their own theory on what was being discussed.
Now I'm going to say fish.
But Holland was talking about traps.
Ah, you know, a fish trap. It's
a fish
classic.
Trap. Yeah, of course. Cat Merch first up and climbs the hill.
Being high and left also gives you the option of going hyzer down the tree line as well if you want it. That's going to be fine. Owen's not even thinking about birdie. Or not birdie, eagle. She's going to throw some nice stock shots, get down there, hopefully take a 4.
Just 2 birdies today on 16. Deanne Carey and Alexis Kerman.
I've always been curious on this downhill second shot if somebody just crushed a roller down the hill. Always wanted to see how far one of those could get. Now Holland.
Yeah, I'm fine.
That is perfect. That is absolutely perfect.
Like that same line, I just didn't like hit it hard enough to make it actually flip, and so it just like got way up there, but trickled.
Yeah, I kind of hammered mine. I don't know, I threw a rake on Anna for some reason. Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at some of the highlights today from Holland Handley as she continues to chat about shots and putting with her card mates.
For the most part, she's looked just extremely under control. Totally changed up from yesterday. Huge shot here on 4. This course is going to reward a really good all-around player, especially if you have both spins. She's used a forehand and backhand pretty evenly today.
She's had a look at birdie on 13 out of 15 holes so far.
Other thing I've noticed is she's so good at putting pace and spin on her push putt. When the wind picks up out here, it's going to really benefit her.
Now the second highest rated player in the world behind Kristen Ladd, and has clearly been the second best player on tour this season behind Kristen Ladd. See that course record, 61. Came in at 10-14 rated last year. Holland sitting at that same 6 under mark at the moment, but definitely birdie in play for her on 16.
This was after an out-of-bounds shot from Missy, and now she's pin high, 40 feet. Might be slightly obstructed.
To the 18th, Burge. Just 2 birdies on 18 so far today.
And it looks like rain has finally started to fall.
Take a look at the leaderboard. Dixon started to hear some rain over on 18. Is it raining on you back at 16?
It certainly is. I just put my hood up and every umbrella on the course just popped open.
Owen found the OB, so
I don't think we should go because he's kind of not give me a green or anything.
they're waiting to see when they can throw. Group in front of them. Still finishing up.
Yeah, things are going to slow down. Just needs to find edge. It does. That's okay. While we're waiting, I just want to throw it to Dixon real quick. I saw a note. Was there a local disagreement or discussion about hole number 15 that we just came off of?
Yeah, this course is universally loved, but I cannot say the same thing about hole 15. It seems like it splits right down the middle between the local community about whether that's a great hole or an awful hole. And there are passionate petitioners on each side. I can remember after the last tournament that I played here that there was quite a discussion on 18 with the course designer about whether or not 15 should be removed. He disagrees.
Well, you know what they say, and I don't know who said this, but good art is both equally loved and hated.
Dixon, where would you say you fall on the debate?
Well, being that I don't throw forehands, I don't like that hole at all.
We should see if there's a correlation between forehand throwers and their like or dislike of the hole. Owen Scoggins lining up now, ready to go on the fairway of 16. I will say, as someone who's never played the course, I quite like the hole. I think it's a great hole. Let's go back and take a look. You have a clear gap on both sides, Brian. The only way to really access the birdie, though, is to go on this left side. We've seen players throw backhands and get looks on this left side, but also forehands, and the birdie is there.
It's
hard.
There. You know what I would really like to see on this hole is, and this is just my Christmas wish list, a circular tee pad. So players can move in the direction of that over the water shot, and then you can also throw up the fairway if you want to. That's going to be Kat's second. It's a decent shot. She's going to have an opportunity to get up and down for birdie. She's always been able to throw far, but her speed has come a very long way over the years. She used to have to really shape these long flipping shots. Now she's really gotten the golf shot down. Oh, and just hammering a forehand. She can go inside flick on that third shot to the green now. That's really nice. A lot of times you're throwing to kind of the fat part of the fairway and you're having to throw some sort of technical backhand.
Hansen for what would be the third birdie of the day on the hole. And to get into a tie for second. Yes. 4 birdies in a row for Ella Hansen. Checking in on the leaderboard. Green is really rising to the top today.
I really like the way this course is scoring. This is separation all over the board.
Some tap ins there. Missy Gannon tapping in for par. Back to 18, Burge.
I think that's okay.
Yeah, that OB cuts back up the hill right where she landed, so she is safe, though it was close. Reminder, these were the pre-event betting odds. Handley out in front as the favorite. Ella Hansen plus 928. Just a shot back. Scoggins also 1 shot back.
Oh, and about 325 out. That's a putt for par.
Oh, bang that putt.
Opportunity. You've seen it in match play. We've seen it here in stroke play, wrapping up this final stretch of the course. How are you feeling about how Badrock's playing?
I think it's been fantastic. It's fair, but challenging. And there's only 1 or 2 holes that I think need to be meaningfully changed. It looks well positioned, and you know, talking to the tournament organizing committee here, they said how valuable it's been to have time to grow to this point, to get to the point where they're on the tour. That running a silver event and learning what the Pro Tour needed from them and what the course still needed, and then doing the Q Series event last year, building up to the point where they were ready to have the Pro Tour. Cat Merch from the fairway. Ice cold.
I don't know how to feel. My ears are like ringing. Moose. Wow.
That's an eagle 3 for Merch, and she jumps into a tie for second after starting the day 4 over through 2 holes. Take another look.
Right at this point, Charlie, I was like, you might need to stop talking right now. Dunks it.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? What a tight window to have to hit. She's got to go give that basket a little hug and a kiss. That was a great catch, too.
She said, I don't know how to feel right now. It's got to feel pretty good. I mean, what a comeback today for Kat. She is now within a shot of the lead.
Very good, but it's through.
Take a look at the scorecard for Kat Merch. Amazing.
Wow.
Dixon, what are you thinking about what we just saw?
Well, before she threw, I was going to tell you how tough of a shot it was, that she's got this bunker in the way and then late trees. And then she just carved it up. Everybody on the card was happy for her. Owen even giving her a little bit of the business, saying, hey, that was a great shot. Now go get your disc out of the basket so I can putt.
I don't know. I feel like if you throw it in from outside circle too, it stays. It stays.
Baffled. Good things happen when I don't, get mad. Super great.
You know, she says that in kind of a dry, joking tone, but she has really committed to improving her mental health over the past 2 or 3 seasons, and we see it pay off in just the consistency of her play. So hats off to you, Kat. Nice comeback.
To get to 7. Got it. And that's got to feel good. Holland has not been good from C2 for over the last maybe 7 or 8 rounds. Take a look on the Zuka replay, a little jumper. She went 1 for 21 at Music City Open from C2. And she didn't hit one yesterday in match play, and she hadn't hit one today. And that one, dead center. Owen in for par. What are we seeing here on 16?
Owen knows how to feel. Just skip on up there.
Run it back again on the Zuka replay. Owen from C2. My goodness. Let's go over to 18.
It's got to keep moving. What a shot.
Pretty throw.
Some fireworks late in this round. Hansen second.
Oh, this is tricky. She can't really flex it. Might have to throw a hyzer flip here. Nice shot.
Missy up onto the green. Look at that scorecard. I mean, you think about where Kat would be if she goes par-par to start. She'd be at 9 under. It's been a tremendous comeback.
All right. It's on you if you get hit.
This is another one of those cool holes. It's a nice change up from the previous. Bunch of power shots on the previous hole 16, and now you got to come up here and hit a really narrow fairway. Nicely done.
Let's go, dude. Yeah.
Good shot.
Perfect shot. You get to throw something nice and slow here. You don't have to do anything special. It's only 461.
And Owen snakes her way through and almost lands on top of Holland's disc. Up to the green. Hansen for birdie. To take solo second. Burge up on 18 for birdie. Finish her day at 4 down. Knocks it down. That is tentatively 1,003 rated. 4 down today. So a really nice round for Cadence Burge. Gannon to get the 4.
Yeah.
Yes. So the putting heating up all over the course.
Well, the radar has not looked good for the rest of the weekend, Charlie, so they better get their birdies in when they can. Do you have an update? Have you checked anything recently?
Well, there is a possibility of thunderstorms, but a low chance throughout the weekend. I think it is fair to say we're probably going to see some more rain. Just kind of unsettled atmospheric conditions. 60% chance of showers tomorrow, 90% on Sunday.
Well, arguably that's worse than the thunderstorms. Yes, the delays are rough and kind of annoying, but it's when it rains for hours on end with no lightning in sight. That's when the players are really at their worst. The course is sloppy. They have to slow down everything. Grip becomes a problem.
Yeah, Sunday in particular, you can see 1 to 2 inches of rain. Possible thunderstorms, winds 11 to 16 with gusts as high as 28. So it's going to be a tough final round conditions as we take a look at the 17th.
Well, I just talked a little bit about hole 17, but I want to throw it down to Dixon on the ground to finish up this thought. I love this little change-up, Dixon.
Yeah, after you just get to unload on 16 for a couple of shots, you really don't want to do that here. One of the worst places to be on this hole is if you go out of the back of the turn. But these 3 that are left, Owen and Holland and Cat, the furthest one is 155, the closest one is 145, and we're going to probably see 3 different shots on how to get up this hill.
Yeah, Owen from the step out. And there's step 2 complete for Owen.
In great position for the birdie.
And yeah, like Dixon said, she's just a few feet off where Owen was, and now she's throwing something completely different.
Just outside the circle. She just made a putt from that distance. Lisa Fakis throwing 3. She'll have a tap in for par. It's been a tough day for the 2024 Kansas City Wide Open champ.
Yeah, this is one of those lies where the forehand is just a safer option. Might be a little bit more annoying, but you'd rather throw this than smack your hand in the tree.
Oh, wow. Misfire for sure, man.
Helpful tree kick, edge of the circle.
Didn't want to hammer it over.
Well, happy Good Friday and a happy Passover to all those celebrating this weekend. Holland to get to 8 under. Very close. Birch can get within a shot of the lead. Chain out on the right side. Own to get into solo second within a shot of Handley. And she's got the birdie. Her first since hole 11. Just one bogey on the day for Scoggins. Fake us in for par.
Man,
short par putts left for Holland Cat.
Look at the top four right now. If that's the lead card, next day, 4 completely different play styles going up head to head against each other on this course.
It was so dark out there.
Owen commenting on the clouds. Seems for the moment the rain has stopped.
Well, she's on the edge, but has an opportunity to sneak through that middle section. That's what I kind of like here about 18 is you challenge that left side to give yourself the better angle. Ella has for sure done that.
Let's fly 18.
749, par 5. It's all about playing with the elevation. So, like we saw Ella do, if you have that big power hyzer, you can push left, challenge the OB on the left side, and your next shot to the landing zone is so much easier. You can either play this inside forehand, you can go all the way around the outside. I don't know if we're going to see anybody have the opportunity to 3 it just because of how this hole is shaped, but you see how far the OB pinches on the right side. They want you to show some restraint in the second shot, and then really, this final shot is what makes this hole so challenging. This peninsula green inside C1, it's barely bullseye length up to this elevated pin, and it's always exposed. As you see, the flag, the feather banners are always blowing up here on 18.
4 birdies on the day on 18. We saw Cadence Burge get it a moment ago. Also Jessica Weiss, Raven Klein, and Maria Oliva.
That's not going to be a birdie from there.
It was very lucky. It was getting very dark.
Oat Scoggins currently the course record holder out here at Bad Rock Creek. She shot a 61 last year. That's a 6 under par. Sitting on that number again right now, but Handley a stroke better.
Here early, it seems like.
Yeah, 3 for you and 4 for us?
Yes. All right, lady.
Hey, get around. That's fun play.
Get around. Get around.
It was a pleasure.
Boom.
Thanks for that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Fist bumps all around. It's been a spirited card. Dixon, tell us a little bit about the 18th and what players are looking to do here off the tee.
Yeah, Ella did it right, but the problem is if you want to do it like she does it, you got to just throw it a ton. I mean, she's not called One Throw Ella for nothing. It's great to be able to put it on top of the hill out to the left, but even she had to then throw a nervy forehand to the landing zone with a left to right crosswind, threatening to push her into the woods. If you don't like that, well, then you can just try to hit a gap at 360 up a hill into a headwind. So either way you decide to play the drive, really the entire goal of the hole put it into the landing zone in 2 or 3, and try to get out of here without a big number.
If it's sunny,
but this
that's
one
hot.
was like 55.
Yeah, it's chilly. This is actual chilly. I've needed my
So tomorrow
hoodie
should
all
be
day.
not too different than this.
You'd think. You'd think. We're in
Well,
ski pants.
But tomorrow we're gonna be more prepared.
Yeah,
More
I'll probably
thick,
wear pants tomorrow.
more thick of this.
They're talking about the temperatures.
I don't know why, but they've always.
Currently 56. Tomorrow's high 57. So it will be chillier tomorrow. High expected to get up to 65 this afternoon. Brian, I know we've been talking about it a lot, but the comeback from Kat Mersch today is something special.
Well, early on, she was just kind of laughing, and discs were going in the basket, shots were panning out, and you just got to let the game of disc golf play out. You never know when something like this is going to happen. You just got to keep putting yourself in position. But the fact that she's able to have these types of things happen, where a horrible start can end up in a great day, that's learned over time. It's not natural for everybody to let go of holes like that. That could snowball for the rest of the day for the wrong player. So you got to tip your cap.
Missy's fourth.
Yeah. She's a smart lady. She knew. I don't need it. I don't need it.
You think the winner's going to have to go 7-7-7 to win this tournament?
I do not. I think the conditions are going to be worse enough on Sunday that we're not going to see anything close to a 7 on Sunday. But if I had to predict it today, I'd probably say a 15 or 16 under is going to win this tournament.
That'd be a great finishing score.
Hey, green flag.
Rock club.
Let's hit it.
Ready to go. Feature card. Set to close it out on 18. Owen's got the box.
That'll be just fine. Owen's not going to have the luxury of doing what Ella did, trying to go around the outside. And yet again, I love the positioning of this tee pad. They make it really hard to get into that open space, so they're trying to force you to throw this gap shot on the second. Holland going flex, trying to play to that left side. That's money. That is so good.
A little bit shallow for Fakis, but kind of more about the second shot. Hansen's third.
It down, it does.
So we see once again the strongest players in this tournament have clustered right at the top of the leaderboard after just one round.
This course demands a universal player. You have to be good with both spins, you have to be confident on the putting green, and you have to be able to handle wind. And I really enjoy the different challenges that this course offers. And like we were talking about earlier, I like the flow of this course. I like that some of the touchier, more technical shots come right after holes that you have to show off power.
It's got a nice flow as well. Second shot's coming up. Dixon, how's the positioning looking for the players in the fairway here?
Well, Lisa, Owen, and Kat all have the same skinny gap. It's about 20 feet wide, about 250 to the landing zone. Owen going with the forehand here. And yeah, she's a little bit short of where she'd like to be, but she's out of the woods. She's going to have an open swing. Kat and Lisa are going to have about the same shot. I'm thinking with that backhand, they can push it a little bit deeper into the zone, give themselves a little bit easier of an upshot. Holland, on the other hand, has come out wide on the hyzer. She's got only about 200 to the landing zone, but about half of the gap. There's one single tree that Holland's going to have to carve around. Lisa right there, about 15 feet further than Owen, but the same thing. I mean, you're just looking for a clean swing, and you're looking for as little distance as possible. The backside of the landing zone would be great to get to, but it's not realistic, and it's not really worth the trouble. If you can make it to the front edge of this landing zone from where the players are at, you're looking at about 250 up the hill. So an eminently manageable shot for these players. Kat right there pushed the ceiling a little bit. She didn't get punished. She's not off in the woods, but I think birdie is probably out of play from there.
Makes it a lot harder now.
Holland now. This should just be stock forehand for Holland, the same disc that she's thrown so many times already. Yeah. Oh, brother. She has slid. I'm fairly sure she's safe. She slid through the flowers. Yeah, there's a green flag from the far spotter. But that's close enough to where she's probably going to be able to take a meter going in off of that. Almost a devastating mistake there from Holland there at the end. But, hey, there's no pictures on the scorecard, right? So she's going to step up to that and be able to get up and down for her birdie, or at least have the opportunity to push this potential course record even further out of reach, given the bad conditions that are going to be showing up on Saturday and Sunday. Kat, from where she's right on a tree, she's going to have to go to the landing zone.
I understand how she got there. The ceiling from where Holland was at was actually lower than I feel like the camera gave her. But yeah, this has just been a great day for Holland overall. Let's see what Kat can do. I really don't think she can run the green. It'd be a huge forehand, yeah.
So Kat chips out for her third. This is a big uphill challenging shot on the approach to the green. Ella's got to look at birdie to get to 6. Not quite. Missy to save par. So it's going to be a bogey for Missy to close out. Allie Smith, 2023 KC Wide Open champ, to close out with a birdie. Yes. So birdie finish for Allie. She's 2 over. A lot of players under par. Just some really compelling disc golf today, Brian.
It was really enjoyable. There were a lot of players that got to their scores some very different ways. Final shot up to the green for Holland. This is a 10 speed.
Beautiful. Has that left for a birdie. And course record all but guaranteed at this point. Owen's got to put a move on this.
Looks like the footing would be a lot better for the forehand, but then
No, backhand is kind of,
I feel like it's coming in at kind of a worse angle for the out of bounds. All right, let's see.
Red flag for Owen, and it's a lot to ask from that spot with her arm speed.
It is a lot to ask, and now even more separation for Holland, who's got a putt for birdie.
And nearly overthrows the green, but safe. This, at least this last shot, reminds me a bit of the 18th at the Beast in Nokia. Elevated pin, tight to OB.
Yeah, super
big
small
uphill shot.
green.
Need more leaderboard.
The leaderboard that ruins lives.
Man, Worlds there this year is going to be something special.
I believe we just saw that Haribo Gummy Bears just signed on as a sponsor.
That's right.
They don't only make gummy bears, but that's just what I think of.
Yeah, I like the Star Mix personally.
Connoisseur.
Star Mix?
I have not.
Keep an eye out for that next time you're in the grocery store.
Oh, I will.
so close to making this weird standing.
Right.
We are running.
That's just, maybe that's just one joke. You know, could say one. It's just like the silly OB.
Man, you look at all these players on the lead card, how they got to where they were. Holland, pretty much all day, minus hole 15, looked like she should be the champion this weekend. Owen dealing with the poison ivy, dealing with her arm injury, says she's got to go see a doctor after this. Kat battling after a rough start. That's a day to be proud of right there for Kat.
Absolutely. And you think about, Hanley's the favorite here. She played the best today, no question. You could see how quickly you could blow up a round out here. It will not be decided until late on Sunday, I don't think.
And I feel like you can have a day where you don't even look or feel that bad, but you don't put yourself in those perfect landing zones to make those second shots in the par fours easy. Every birdie is earned out here.
Fakis to close out with a birdie. Well, at least he's not going to repeat as champion here at the KC Wide Open. Owen in for bogey. She will drop to 5 under into a tie for second. Holland Handley to get to 8 under, set a new course record, and have a 3-shot lead going into the weekend. It's an excellent round for Holland. 5 under is 1,007 rated at the moment, so we'll see just how high the rating comes in for Holland's round. As she wraps up with just 1 bogey on the day, 9 birdies, and just looked very in control out on the course. What a contrast to what we saw from her yesterday during match play. So that does it for round number 1 at the Kansas City Wide Open as we welcome you back in the booth. Brian, quick wrap up on the day.
Holland went 1 for 6 from C2 still, and it felt like it was a better day from long range. If she gets that going, she could be shooting 12, 13 under par out here. She looks fantastic.
Yeah, she could run away with it if she really finds the putting stroke for sure. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side in Tournament Central, we're going to break it all down and get you ready for the weekend here at the KC Wide Open. Stay with us on the Disc Golf Network.
Ben's a pro who spent $25 on his premium driver and threw it 413 feet, which means he spent about 6 cents per foot for his shot. Matt's a total noob, but he only spent $5 for his premium driver on DiscountDiscGolf.com. He throws his 213 feet, which means Matt only spent 3 cents per foot for his shot, making him the clear winner in this distance battle. Cheap discs are better. It's science.
EDGE is a nationally recognized 501c3 charitable organization.
What we do is we empower the teachers with complete programming along with the equipment and a standardized curriculum. So you have a one-stop shop for teachers and youth educators. That's really what EDGE is. It makes everything simple for the teacher to get involved with disc golf.
If we want disc golf to be recognized, we need to introduce disc golf to the youth. And if nothing else, they've got a healthy game that they can enjoy with their families throughout the rest of their lives.
If you design, if you test, if you manufacture, there is only one technology partner you need. TriMech Group is the leading provider of design, engineering, and manufacturing solutions for thousands of companies across North America and Europe. Innovation starts here. TriMechGroup.com.
Your membership dollars have a huge impact on the growth of the game of disc golf. The PDGA uses membership dollars to provide and aid disc golf as it spreads across the globe. From tools like the PDGA app and Tournament Manager, services like the TD Helpline, and grant programs that support the growth of disc golf globally. Your active membership also brings you access to select member benefits, including free and discounted access to the Disc Golf Network. So sign up today, and we'll see you out on the course.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, we're in Liberty. We had an amazing time. Yeah, I'll send you some photos now. The facilities were great, and the weather was gorgeous. You'd be so proud. They played hard. We got great food afterwards and went through a museum. Of course, they wanted a treat, and they wore themselves out at the pool. It's been a really great weekend. You'll have to join us next time.
Welcome inside Tournament Central following round 1 of the Kansas City Wide Open. Holland Handley has a 3-shot lead after shooting a course record 10:28 rated 8 under par. She's in the clubhouse with Dixon Jowers.
Hi, Holland. Fantastic round out there. How did it feel for you?
I'm good. It felt like a nice, relaxed day compared to how the conditions were yesterday. Card was just having a good time and just vibing off of each other. So it was a fun day.
Okay, so do you know what your final number was?
Yeah, it was 8.
Do you know what the previous course record was?
No, I have no idea.
Well, I said the word previous. You got it now. It was 6 under.
Sick.
Rated 10:28.
Cool.
Excellent round. I mean, it looked like it was just easy like Sunday morning for you. You never had a par putt that had any stress on it, and you only had one bogey. So is that what you felt like you could do coming out here?
I mean, yeah, I know this is a course that, I can shred on any given day. I was just more focused on, let's be committed to our shots and not worried about the results. Because lately that's been getting the better of me, I think, especially on my putts. And so I'm kind of trying to work through some of that and stay more process focused than results focused this week.
You seemed rather calm during the round. Was that just a show? Were you calm mentally? How were you feeling while you were out there?
I felt pretty calm today. Like I said, I've just been getting tired of being so frustrated lately. So I was like, today we're just not going to care what results are. We're just going to play. And I think that really helped.
So it looks like the wind is going to be different tomorrow. It's going to change some of your shots. Do you have a plan for this wind? Have you practiced what it's going to be?
I mean, I have. You never really know. The forecast says one thing, but you don't know until you're standing there. So really, it's just about knowing the landing zones and knowing what we're just going to do in the wind and trying to make the best read possible on the day.
Okay. So after a round like this, do you head home, take your shoes off, and relax, or do you go practice somewhere? Or do you try to come back out here and throw some shots you want to think about different?
Oh no, I'm going home. I'll probably go watch the boys play, and I might putt a little bit this evening. But yeah, I'd like to go relax after.
So it looks like there's chance of rain tomorrow. Pretty good chance of rain Sunday. How do you feel like you play with wet grip?
I love playing in the rain. It messes everybody up a little bit, but I feel like it messes other people up more than me. So I've got shoes for it. I've got all the gear for it. I'm ready for it.
Well, you're going to get a chance to show it. So excellent job today, and we hope the best for you as you finish out this tournament.
Thank you.
Great stuff from Holland Handley. Let's take a look at some highlights from the round.
She really showed off everything. This spike hyzer on 4, just fantastic. Tough to stick it on the postage stamp of a green on hole number 4. Putter was coming alive a little bit, but like I was saying, Charlie, she still missed a couple circle 1 putts when the wind was down and 1 for 6 circle 2 putting. Just not a great day from circle 2. It hasn't been a great season from that range, but the stroke looked good on the one that she made.
Yeah, I mean, she led the field in fairway hits, went 20 for 21. She was first in circle 1 in regulation, first in circle 2 in regulation, so she had a ton of opportunities and able to get 9 birdies on the day. That also led the field.
Well, she's been doing that in the driving categories pretty much all season long, and the person right in front of her is Kristen Tatar, who leads every single driving category this season. Holland's right behind her. This is just consistent for how she is as a player, and like we were saying, Bad Rock demands you to be a universal player. You can't really have a weakness if you want to shoot hot out here, and Holland showed that.
I'm going to give you a lot of trouble if you keep messing up Kristen's last name.
Oh my gosh.
I was just messing with you, Brian. Holland, what a scorecard. Little 3-pack there, 11, 12, and 13. And closing out with birdies on 16 and 18. Tough birdies, some of those birdies. I mean, that's the other thing. It wasn't like she was just getting the easy holes. She was getting the tough ones, some that were not birdied by almost anybody else on the day.
Yeah, it's kind of a theme out here at this course. There's some really challenging birdies, but they're not impossible, but they just take really specific shots. I think a prime example is hole number 5. You have to blast one to the top of the hill to even see the basket, and you see some players really go for it from really out of position. Holland is giving herself those looks. She has that hyzer flip forehand that some other players don't have, and again, showing off all the tools in the kit.
Yeah, so exciting day. Lead card tomorrow will include, of course, Holland, and then Owen Scoggins, Ella Hansen, and Valerie Mondahano, who gets the tiebreaker on the PDGA number. And what a great lead card. They all played really, really well today.
And like we were saying earlier, all of these players in the lead card have had their different journeys today. You know, when you shoot a good round like Val did early in the day, you're kind of sitting there waiting to see if anybody else beats your score. You're not sure how good or bad it's going to be on the day. But then you watch Ella, Owen, Holland, they all kind of got to their numbers in different ways, and I'm excited to see these players put some pressure on Holland tomorrow.
assume that Holland continues to play well. What will it take for someone to catch her and beat her out here?
Well, she was saying in an interview with Dixon that she was just getting tired of being frustrated. That's when Holland starts to fail. She's one of those players that when she starts to stumble and when she lets her emotions get the best of her, everything changes. She starts walking faster. She doesn't seem to be breathing as deeply. And that's when players can catch her. Otherwise, you're not going to catch Holland. She is, right now in this field, with Kristen not here, the best all-around player that we have. So sit back and watch the show, but if there's a crack in the armor, the players have to take advantage.
Yeah, the final round rating coming in 1028 for Holland today. So really, really strong stuff, and she's been doing it all season long. It's time for our OTB shot of the day. You got any theories?
I'm pretty sure the dunk on 16 is going to be it. I know I got this one.
All right, roll it. OTB shot of the day. Maybe my favorite story of the day. Kat Merge, 4 over on the first 2 holes and comes all the way back into a tie for 4th. And this eagle on 16.
That is sick.
A big part of the comeback. Is there anything better than that at disc golf? Off the tee.
Doing it from the tee pad?
Right.
Yeah.
Just the flex shot. So beautiful. Are you not entertained?
She's going to sleep easy tonight. That was a roller coaster of emotions all day.
Triple bogey on the first. What a comeback. All right, MPO round 1 action is underway. Our live coverage of the feature cards begins at 2:30 p.m. Central Time, 3:30 Eastern, about an hour and 45 minutes from now. It all starts with Tournament Central, and if you want to catch up on the Jomez later on, you'll have that all weekend over on YouTube. Looking forward to it. Shreddable conditions out here today for FPO. We'll see if the same remains for MPO. For Brian Earhart and Dixon Jowers, Charlie Eisenhood signing off for FPO round 1. Holland Handley's got a 3-shot lead heading into moving day.